AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin Bro's Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Hollaway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros Fake News, everybody, bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. My God, man, we've got a woman on our set today.
Yeah.
We've got a woman on our set today. This is a first in fake news history. However, Sarah Gonzalez from The Blaze actually does news on a daily basis on your show, so it's allowed today.
Yes.
It's allowed
Okay,
today.
all right.
I can't think of anybody else, though, we would have on.
I feel really nervous.
On the show. You should. You should.
There's a lot of pressure involved in this.
Yeah.
Why do you
tons.
keep pointing at me when you say that?
Yeah, because...
I haven't said anything, although there is a
He
story
knows.
in here about how women should shut the fuck up.
Well, look, it's not that.
I
It's,
don't disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, but when we talk about the Suffrage Act,
Right.
we all agree it should be
Yeah.
repealed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really understand the
I would-
voting and
yeah.
the driving and the talking and the all of it. You know what I'm
The
saying?
nagging and the,
Yeah, and it's we'll work on that, and we'll get to the bottom of it later. I
Speaking
can
of that
promise you
nagging, have you seen this new Superman trailer?
Oh, it's
It's 2.5 minutes long.
Yep.
Right?
Terrible.
Which is fine.
I
Whatever,
just
if
saw
it's
in the
good.
theaters the other night.
But the first 90 seconds of the trailer is Lois Lane bitching at Superman and him desperately trying to prove himself to her.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And it made like the internet now is like, Jesus Christ, dude, I thought it was impossible for us to hate Lois Lane, and now we hate Lois. Like Lois won't shut the fuck up. And I don't know why they did that.
It is, man, just
I know.
bizarre. I
It's
don't
weird.
understand.
That's Hollywood, though.
And
right
then they're
now.
running
You got-
out.
what
They're
do you-
running out like a black female, which War Machine's always been black, but they're running out a female War Machine.
Okay.
For Marvel, nobody's watching that.
That's weird.
God,
I didn't hear about them.
do
Did they
that.
not just look at the numbers from the last Black Panther with all the chicks? Nobody fucking cares about this stuff, right?
I don't know, dude.
Like, if you want to make female superhero stuff, that's fine, right? Ripley. No, it's worked many times. Ripley from Aliens, Elite. Sarah Connor,
is that
Elite.
is that a comic book? It was Aliens.
No, it was just a standalone movie.
Okay, so like an
but
action
still,
movie, yeah.
but still, like action hero female has been done and done well and successfully.
I think
The Alien series is one. Say what you want about how annoying Jennifer Lawrence was and pretending like she was the first one ever, but the Hunger Games series was good.
she's great. She's a great
that
actress.
was good.
I can separate the art from the artist. She's a great actress.
There's a bunch of these examples, but taking a character that already exists and be like, you know what? Let's put tits on it.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't either. And I didn't even like it when Marilyn Manson did it too. You know, like the just put tits on it didn't work for him either. So sorry, it didn't. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Got those two ribs removed, got tits put on, sucking his own dick through his own tits. That guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros. Did you forget? Did you forget where you were today,
I could
Sarah? Because
never.
it's going to get a lot worse than
I
that.
could never.
Did you read the title of the goddamn show today?
I know.
Hakeem Jeffries and Diddy? Mind explode. This is why we call this show fake news. I never know whether these stories are real or fake. And one, I refuse to even entertain. I didn't even click on the video. It was the meth raccoon the other day. And Dan writes the news, so
I
it was
didn't
at the bottom of
either.
the show. I didn't even click on the video because I'm not doing this bullshit.
Me
with you guys.
too.
Yeah, everybody sent it to me and tagged me, and I was like, nope, not playing this video. And then he confirmed that it was real, and I was like, there's no way.
There's no fucking way. And then, yeah,
And it
sure
was.
enough, yeah.
Well, I gotta go back and watch it now.
You got a meth raccoon now. So, sorry, it is what it is. Tell everybody about your show, though, where they can find you at the top here.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered on Blaze TV, but also on YouTube. So when you're done streaming this show, go over and subscribe to Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered. And we do it Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Great show. Love watching it. Love being on it. It's a blast.
Thank you.
Miss your husband. One of the best producers in the biz, by the way.
Yeah,
How many
director, but that's fine.
Does he do both?
No, he's just the director.
Okay.
Well, he does kind of produce it too, but that's just because he's bossy.
Because I hear him in your ears, so it's like,
no,
hey,
you're
dude.
right. No, you're right. You're
All
right. You're right. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking. Because
Yeah.
a director on a single camera show is not.
Oh yeah, no, he does much more than that. You're
Producer would be
Yes,
more.
yeah.
I'm just.
No, you're
just
right.
speaking from a
well,
Hollywood perspective.
I'm sure you know what it's like when you work with your spouse. It's like you got a groove going.
And you never fight.
No.
You never have any arguments.
Never.
Ever. It's all
Yeah.
exactly what you see.
Yeah.
Every single time. But I love them because behind the scenes at the Blaze, which is Glenn Beck's network over there, that's the last of Hollywood. It feels like you're on you were truly on a movie set, like a Paramount.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
when you
old
walk through that
Paramount
building and then the equipment you guys have compared to us is nuts.
Yeah,
I
it's
sent
pretty
Jessie back
crazy.
there to look at the ones and twos of you
Yeah.
guys, and she was just like, holy shit, dude. I'm in the mothership.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
It's a big girl operation we have there at the Blaze.
It really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, producer would be.
You're right.
You look inside that control room. He'll be
right.
amped that I said this. I promise you when you get home.
No, I agree
saved
with you.
you today.
No, I agree with you.
I saved you today.
Yeah, you
You
probably won't get hit when you get home now.
But yeah.
Today.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
exactly.
Thank
Tomorrow
you.
is another
Yeah.
story, obviously. There's still going to be one set of footprints because it was me that I carried you on this today. So just never forget that. All right. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what Ryan Mills here has to say real quick at the top. All right. We're getting in the stadium down there for the Beaumont Renegades for the arena football. I love it. I actually got drilled. Shit. How long ago? Was that a year ago now? Yeah, we did that last June, the championship was.
Yeah.
Hard AF Seltzer's doing also not only this team, we're sponsoring the championship, logos on the footballs, all that fun stuff. And then we got our new favorite player up here on set, Noah. Noah has joined us here.
Noah, what?
Well, you pronounce the K, so I don't know what's racist about it, to be honest with you. It's Noah Kaniga back there. And, we heard the announcer say it. You pronounce the K. So I don't know what the uproars are about. I can't figure it out, for Christ's sakes. Now, the first story here today, I understand. Hakeem Jeffries and Diddy? God damn, let's go. In a bizarre twist emerging from a federal investigation into illicit Hollywood gatherings, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs divulged he did this on his own? Jesus Christ. Shocking details about late night affairs attended by Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Now, we do know with Hakeem, he can go all night.
Do we?
Yeah, you don't remember his 24-hour speech where
filibuster?
it changed.
Is that the wrong black guy?
That is the wrong black gentleman, yes.
Damn it,
we don't
man.
care.
Yeah, whenever I see
We don't care.
one, a politician, guys, not a race. And whenever I see a politician, all
Right.
politicians look like other politicians, especially if they're
Right.
black and light skinned and then act the same. And they're all kind of a weird descendant from Obama now. So, yeah.
7 degrees of separation.
I thought it was him too. Either way, he's the minority leader. Oh, still minority leader. God damn, I feel like we're just really saying all the wrong things, but I apologize. That's what he actually is. For the House of Representatives there, according to testimony, Jeffries was a recurring guest of honor. That's covert Communist Party freak-offs. And that was the theme, was a communist party. So you had to dress up like one. An exaggerated communist nostalgia over-the-top events featured actors dressed as historical revolutionaries and an unsettling array of symbolic rituals. Is this real?
Yeah.
This is real?
No way.
What were they dressed as? Hamilton?
Che Guevara. Hamilton wasn't a communist. He was a Federalist.
Okay, but he looks like him. You got to go with what you look like,
Marx,
right?
Lenin, Stalin.
Okay.
Would be among, so maybe just a thick, bushy mustache.
For Stalin?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you also have to be 5'8", which is problematic for me because I'm taller than that.
Yeah, but it's like Hakeem Jeffries 5'8". You got to ask
No, he's like
yourself
6
that.
foot tall, I think.
Is he really? All right.
Yeah, he's a tall man.
Fact check that, Bob. Get a height on him.
Che Guevara would be one.
Okay.
I guess maybe Cesar Chavez would probably technically be, although he was more socialist, not communist. Mao Zedong would be one.
Oh, I would love a Mao Zedong.
Can you imagine some fat Chinaman showing up dressed like Mao?
General Mao?
It's like, you can call me Chairman.
Oh.
My buddy had a cat named Chairman Meow.
Did he really?
funny.
That's a great name
Yeah,
for
you
a
know,
cat.
Evan and I used to name our dogs after communists all the time.
Really?
So I had a dog named Jay Stalin, and he had Carl. Remember Carl?
Yeah, I remember
the
Carl.
GSP, yeah.
Was it after Karl Marx?
That's actually, yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was one of the things Evan and I first bonded on.
Was that you named your dogs after communists?
Yeah, because we had done it, like, Carl was older than my dog, I think, but I got my dog 6 years before we met, something like that, so he was already 6 by then. So it's
No
completely
way.
unrelated. We were just two jackasses that decided to name our dogs after communists.
And you guys fell in love upon meeting.
Yeah,
and
we
figuring
twisted
that
our
out.
dicks together like that medical alert bracelet.
Yeah. Which saved my grandmother's life. It's what it did, Sarah. I'm sorry that happens, but this is a real story. Yeah, sources familiar with the investigation say the parties began with theatrical and controversial acts, including staged flag-burning performances meant to lampoon Cold War hysteria. I'm going to be honest, man. I've talked about this on the show before that I've went to one of these. I got to go to the white party. I didn't get to go to the cool shit afterwards that happened, apparently, but this was nowhere near my fucking bingo card today.
No.
And I kind of wish I was there for something like that. Like, if I got to be a historical figure, I don't want to be a communist,
Sure.
but I would like to be Lincoln at one of these things, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be great. If you're going, I'm just saying, going all black prostitutes. And then I walk in dressed as Abraham Lincoln. Holy shit, the place would fucking erupt, dude.
I mean,
Lincoln wants to get his dick sucked.
If you were doing that, Jefferson would be more apropos. 'Cause he was straight up fucking slave. Sally, whatever her name was.
Yeah. But it's just the selfish part of me because I'm tall, Lincoln's tall. We were both excellent wrestlers. Both of us dabbled in homosexuality in college a little bit. Love log cabins. Almost moved into one, for Christ's sakes. Learned out there was a termite problem, though, here in Texas with log cabins. It's a true story.
So you're basically Lincoln.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think so.
and to all our black listeners, because I think we got 4 or 5 of them out there. I want to say confidently that I would have freed you. I would have. If I was this, yes. Back then, yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
Not
I hear
now.
both sides. Yeah.
Not now.
Now, no. I mean, not after the riots, but back then, I would have said, yeah, this is going to work out. This is going to work out just fine. Yeah. And so I felt like I could have been a sweet Lincoln. How did this get entered into evidence, though? How did they even find out about
That
this?
I don't know, but Diddy claimed that Jeffries often insisted on the presence of young Hispanic male performers costumed as flamboyant versions of Fidel Castro.
Whoa!
Complete with glitter-covered fatigues and choreographed cigar routines. I don't know if that's a Lewinsky reference or what.
Wow.
Yeah. The supposed purpose was political catharsis mass as performance art. So they thought it was funny. Because the Freakos were known for their comedic sensibilities, obviously.
I think you have to add a little dash of comedy in these things, you know?
Yeah, but you almost have to admire like all of the. I mean, that's very well thought out.
Yes.
That's a very well thought out.
I mean, that's serial. So a Gaylord would just be like, "Oh, that's a tight Latinx ass.
Right.
I want to get in there."
Yeah.
Right. But a serial killer is like, "I want to do this for 72 straight hours."
Right.
Demanding increasingly elaborate pageantry. Over 40 impersonators rotated through the night as mock military parades turned into intimate dance battles.
Come on, man.
So it was basically like gay dancing bear.
I get to fucking dance too? As
yeah, but
Lincoln?
you got to
As
dance with
Lincoln.
other dudes in an intimate way.
Is
So-
it weird that I'm okay with that as long as I still get to have sex with like females later on in the evening where it's just like, okay, cool. With like we all dance together as historical figures. If dicks touch, whatever. But as long as, like the end of the night is straight, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
It's not gay if it's just dancing.
it isn't. It isn't. My uncle used to tell me that all the time as
Really?
a kid. Yeah, as a kid. He
Yeah.
would be like, hey man, it's not. If we're just dancing,
Yeah,
Is this
R.I.P.
guy? Yeah, R.I.P.
He
Obviously.
got the electric chair.
No,
1988.
Yeah, it was a car thing you got thrown out of the back of, but very very John Elway. You know, it's just like a golf cart that took off. It's a little too fast. But I can't believe this is real. And why would you put this in there if you either one weren't trying to intimidate him, two weren't going to call him up on the stand? Because I don't really understand why would this be admissible if you weren't going to actually bring this up.
What's the point?
Yeah, Jeffries denied it, obviously, but apparently, word on the street is that Diddy's got video evidence.
Of course he does.
That's what I said. And so I guess, Sarah, let me ask you this, because I said this on the show a few weeks ago. One of the names that I heard Hollywood-wise behind the scenes in this was the top one was Obama. And if you pair up the dates, so when you haven't seen him and Michelle together in public, it matches up exactly when that house got raided. And I'm sure he had to sit her down and be like, well, sorry, I was at the parties and might have got my dick sucked.
I hope that that's true. Listen, I think if you're Diddy, you're like, I'm throwing all of y'all under the bus. All of y'all.
Yeah,
because everyone decided that he was the fall guy. I mean, I'm sure you can say better than anyone else that Hollywood is a cesspool and everyone's doing it. And I guess whoever at the top decided he's going to take the fall for all of these things. And he's like, no, you guys are all coming down with me. I love to see it.
So do I.
I think he said going down with me, though, not coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what the distinction is between the words, but it meant
going down?
It meant something.
Let me tell you. I do.
It meant something.
You're
to him,
right.
It sure does.
My bad.
Yeah. I'm sure Sarah's
do
heard that a lot in the past, you know? Going down versus coming down. Two different phrases there.
You're right.
So, yeah.
He did do a lot of coming.
He did.
I don't know which direction it was.
So much that he actually was directing these things and directed them. This is a true story because we did this on RPR earlier to take a break. So he's like, hey, y'all got to separate for a little bit, okay? I gotta regroup.
What is like Pitbull's meeting?
Yes,
he's got to pull them apart.
That's the way it was described in court earlier in the week. Of y'all got to separate. Y'all got to separate for y'all going too fast. Y'all got to separate.
You know,
and I was like, holy shit, yeah.
That one band Offspring said you got to keep them separated. I thought they meant the races, but apparently,
nope,
it was about this.
Yeah, because once that oil gets going, and that was part of the Monday testimony, was that there wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So he would stop it and have a break in the action like Herb Dean and say, all right, we need more oil. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah. Then he would say, let's get it on.
Close.
Oh, no, that's Big John. That's not Herb Dean.
Yeah, close. But that's a true story.
Do we know what exactly was in the oil? Wasn't there something?
So the feds have allegedly tested it, but here's where I land with this, because this trial is kind of taken over everything, and we're hearing about it all day long. Wish it was televised. It's not. When your lead witness, and I just said this on Ross Patterson Revolution this morning, when your lead witness got her text messages revealed that says, I love the freak offs, I can't wait to the next one, and then she had a laundry list of text messages to him saying, hey, I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z. Do we have those texts, Bob?
Yeah, hold on.
If you can read those aloud in your theater voice, it'd be great.
Well, nobody's accused Diddy of throwing bad parties.
Ever. Even the one I went to was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, though. At 3:30, though, they shut it off, and then there's a house. And I wasn't famous enough to go to the house.
To go to the house.
Yeah, and I felt...
So you missed it.
Well, I felt...
You could be in this trial right now.
I felt like shit for like 12 years until this all came out, and I was like, oh my God, thank God I wasn't famous enough to go in the house. I would have gone to the house just to see I would have popped a little beacon just to see what's going on.
You could have been in the trial.
Which would have been
That
rad.
could have been you instead of Hakeem Jeffries.
Could you imagine our ratings on this show? YouTube might actually unblock us for the first time ever and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's get this guy on live on air. What were the text messages, Bob?
This is some of I miss you already. This is from Diddy. Diddy's gray, she's blue, I guess.
Who's the girl?
Cassie.
Cassie? Okay.
Yeah, me too. When do you want to freak off? LOL. Cassie, LOL. I'm just going up to change. I'm always ready to freak off. LOL. You tell me the day you choose. It can be whenever. Name the night. And then LOL, maybe we could. We don't know him that well. Want to call him and feel him out? I can do that. Call him now, please. Presumably about one of the male prostitutes.
So, Bob, real quick, pop those texts back on screen. Is she blue or white?
She's blue.
She's blue.
She's blue. Okay. So miss you already. Me too. And then, so she's saying the LOL part?
Yeah.
They both are, but yeah.
Okay.
LOL is her.
So
the main thing, the damning one, was I'm always ready to freak off. I believe.
Yes. And here's what my wife said on the show, and I'll ask you your opinion here. His whole trial is based on I'm a swinger, which he's already said that. They've already said it. If none of these people are underage, what's the crime? And because I don't think if this is your lead witness, sorry, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would say the video of him beating the shit out of her is not great, but I guess that's a separate issue.
But he's a shitty person.
Yeah, of course.
But you still got to prove by law that
what?
Yeah, he broke a law of something, and I don't know that this is the person to do it.
Well, I don't even. It's all been so convoluted. I don't even know what exactly is he even being accused of? Sex trafficking?
Yes.
Well, how can you traffic someone who's clearly asking for it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I don't understand why. I mean, it's the same thing with. I interviewed Lindsay Hill, Trevor Bauer's accuser. And
oh my God, we just brought that up earlier. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same type of thing because
so
all of her text messages.
Yeah, what did she say? Because I said the same thing in regards to the text messages, and Dan and I obviously know Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't played since back in the major leagues.
No, it ruined his career here.
Yes. So when you read those text messages, what were your thoughts and what were her answers?
I mean, I was just like, you clearly the next day you're saying I can't wait to do it again. And she was just kind of like, that's a really great question. The experts at the trial said that sometimes people do that psychologically because they feel shame. I mean, it was total bullshit. She was completely lying.
Okay.
And it's just, I'm sorry, but if you're a woman and you want to claim that, I was just really going through it because I didn't actually want to do it, and that's why I'm saying LOL a bunch of times, like, you don't get to come back later and claim that you were trafficked or raped or sexually assaulted or any of those things. You don't get to say that.
I don't think so either. Yeah. And as much as you're a shitty person in this world, it's not against the law to be a shitty person. So I don't know what's going to happen after this. Because if this is your big star witness,
that's not good.
Leading off the trial, then what?
That's not good.
I don't even give a shit if there's. I heard there's going to be a shit ton of video.
You want to watch it?
90 hours. Yeah.
Sounds like I'm going to need some oil.
Is that Gary back there dying of tuberculosis? Jesus Christ, dude. Get him out of here, Street Gonzo.
Last time I was here, there was some phone call with Diddy. No, maybe that was another.
Another black?
Another, yeah. I think it was OJ. When we tried to get OJ Simpson on the phone for you?
No, it wasn't. But it was something sexual. It was why I thought it was Diddy.
Oh, probably.
Every time I come, we're talking about.
Well,
every time I arrive here, we're talking about Diddy.
Unfortunately, like in the press, for all of these stories, though, it's all sex. It's all sex related now. Yeah. It's either that or fucking kids.
Yeah.
And like we talked about that yesterday with Richard High, from Anger Cops, because he exposed the Buffalo school system for trying to kidnap that one kid and everything else. And
they didn't try to kidnap anyway. They just deleted the evidence.
Which, how do you delete a kidnap evidence? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a crime. What they did is definitely a crime. I looked up the New York statutes for it. Somebody's going to go to jail if they ever decide to prosecute it.
Yes.
We'll see.
In New York?
But those are the two top dominating stories, and I don't really know why. We had this discussion yesterday where it's like, why is it kids and why is it always like weird sex shit all the time?
Yeah, the world's fucked up.
But I guess what also dates back to all the Roman bullshit you always talk about, So maybe that's part of it, where you're just that powerful and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, what can we do? I tell you what, you dress up as Che Guevara, and we're going to have some Cuban boys in the corner there. Now, they're not going to be free. You're going to help free them tonight, Hakeem.
That's really creative. You got to give him A for effort.
Love the creativity. And if there's a craft service table full of empanadas and flautas and crunchy tacos and all that other shit.
Oh, I bet that sounds delicious.
I do like a nice empanada.
So do I.
Naturally, so do I.
Well, obviously, she's Mexican. So, yeah, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
She's also very speedy. But with that, let's say you're banging it out, and then you're like, man, I could really go for one of those empanadas. Hey, Cuban boy. And then, boom, they go and grab you something there.
Fetch me an empanada.
Yes.
Yeah.
But obviously make it gringo style. I want a little sour cream on that because I don't know where that goddamn thing came from. And then we'll get back to fucking later. It's like, all right, well, I mean, that's kind of a rad party. Like, that sounds like a fun night out to me.
I don't know that Mexican food mixes well with an orgy.
Have you ever tried it, though?
Mexican food?
With an orgy?
No.
Well, how can you? I mean, I'm just saying.
No.
It's a communist party. Who is the best to ever do it?
Communism-wise?
Yeah.
Mao.
You're not going to go Hitler?
Hitler was a fascist fuckface.
Okay. Is he not? Is that not the same thing?
Hitler absolutely hated communists.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, but communism and fascism are not very different.
Well, I hear it.
So
That's all I hear from the liberal side right now is communism and fascism. So it's like,
So you
pick
show up.
one. Pick
hold
one.
on,
Then.
Ross. You show up as Hitler and disrupt everyone because then they're pissed that you showed up.
But the Germans are known for scat porn. Like that's all they do is shit videos and shit things and everything else. A nice Mexican craft service table. Congratulations. Everybody's dumping out. And it's like, if you're the Hitler at that party, you're probably going back 9 times.
Yeah,
for,
but if it's a gay orgy, which is what this sounds like, Mexican food and Indian food should be completely off the menu.
Okay, Indian food, you're right.
No, and Mexican food.
Mexican food too, both. You got to get
Don't
both
try
of
to
those out of
fucking
there.
defend your dirty ass people in the dirty
Jesus
ass water.
Christ, dude. Yeah. Mexicans
Listen,
and
I'm not
Indians?
trying to defend the water at all. The last time I was in Mexico, I got an amoeba and almost died.
Yeah.
And I didn't,
Oh, yeah.
like, I knew I did all the right things.
It's all cartels and amoebas down there.
Yeah.
Sure is, dude.
Yeah.
I've mentioned Mal twice and you haven't played the fucking music.
I know, it's weird, dude. There it is. I mean, we have a guest on the show, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, yeah.
You guys were in a flow state. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
That never interrupts us.
Yeah, it never bothers me. It never bothers me, ironically. But General Mao would be a fun one. That or
Chairman.
Dress up as Mao.
Pull up a
you gotta go.
picture.
You gotta shave it. Yeah.
He wore
Show a
like
picture of General Mao.
he wore the same suit for like 80 years.
Yes. Easy costume.
Okay, but
Just
Same
like
guy.
a
Look at that.
fucking-
Look at that.
okay,
And
so
then
you're
you
saying
shave
just-
out that bozo ring.
just right. That's dedication, though. You got to shave your head like that.
If you're going to an orgy at Diddy's house with Hakeem Jeffries,
You go all
yes,
out.
you shave shave
right.
up.
Well, based
Right.
on the shape of his head, you could probably go bald cap.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm method. Sorry. I hate to say it to you guys,
It's
but
going to get really sweaty if you have a full bald cap
yes.
plus the appliance
and
over top
the
of it.
lube and the
Yeah.
heat and everything else, because you want to jack that heat up as well in the room.
Do you?
Get some sweet sweat with
Sweat.
that oil and oh boy. So yeah, I'd shave this up. Obviously yellow face, Dan. Have to.
What do you use for that? Do you just get jaundice?
No.
Because then nobody could say.
Excellent
If somebody's
question.
like, "Oh, you're in yellowface," like, actually, I'm sick.
Excellent question.
You fucking racist piece
They've
of
got
shit.
this Minions makeup that I would use. So, you go to Party City or whatever, you can grab some of that Minions makeup and go yellow, head to dong, and then that's it.
what
you
do
know?
what do you do about the eyes, though?
Scotch tape. I mean, that's pretty fucking obvious, isn't it? Scotch tape all night because you're method. Like, sorry about it.
Or you
You
can
know?
get those, those threads that women get through here to like lift their.
Yeah, I've seen
face.
that.
Yeah, lift the thing.
You
Yeah.
could do that just this way. I
Just
don't.
that way.
You'd have to find I guess,
Again.
a morally questionable
lot of dedication.
cosmetologist or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a lot of them out there. If
Yeah.
they can
Tons.
do plastic surgery to make someone look more like a cat,
Yep.
I think they can do it to make you look more Asian.
I'd roll through. I'd roll through. Fucking what is it? What's the sign all over Austin? Westlake Dermatology. I see that every 10 feet. I'd say, hey, give me the Mao. Give me the geisha look. Go ahead and stretch me out. And sir, what is this for? Well, just keep this to yourself. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to this Diddy party with Hakeem Jeffries later. Now it's a communist theme, and I'm General Mao. You don't say. Fucking A, dude. Well, let me give you some ice for that, because it's going to sting a little bit while I raise those eyebrows up. So yeah, I go full method for this, and it's according to you, Dan, because you write this. 72 hours straight. These parties are going.
That's what
Golly.
Diddy said.
He said the parties are going 72 hours.
He said in one case there was a 72-hour straight party where Jeffries just partied the whole time, and there were 40 different impersonators that came up on stage.
40. How many communists are there?
Not that there's not communist leaders is not 40.
Then there's got to be somebody doing walking or something. Like, somebody doing a Christopher Walken in the corner just to do it. Like, that's the only thing that makes any sense at that point. Because you're going to run out of communist leaders to do it, and then you got to have to mix in some other celebrities there. Did they go against the people they were against at any point? Were they dressed up?
Like, you mean the Allies?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that would be fun, too.
Was there like a Joe McCarthy?
blast.
Red Scare Joe McCarthy in the audience?
Got to be, right?
I don't know.
Are they taking naps in between? Like, this is a long
No,
time.
they were not. So what they were doing was the ones that I read, they were giving IVs. They had nurses there.
No.
Yes, they had IVs in the room, and they made sure they stay hydrated. And then the rooms were connected. So yeah, if you had to go to sleep for a little bit, you could pop back in.
Take a little cat nap.
Yeah.
Get right back
Well, you know,
to
penguins
Pop right back in.
Penguins are Asian, I think,
I think so too.
and they take 10,000 4-second naps a day.
Yep.
No.
Yes. And that's why their
That's it,
skin.
and
That's
that's
why
it.
their skin looks so good. It is.
That and the cold, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Now, Jeffries' office has firmly denied all claims, so I do want to say that in case we get sued. Dismissing them as weaponized fiction, yet with Diddy Combs agreeing to a deposition and whispers of video evidence surfacing. If you have it, go ahead and send that in here to the studio. Love to see it. I'll break that down on fucking Patreon all goddamn 72 hours. I'll stay up the entire time. I'll smoke meth out of a fucking raccoon. For that shit. I would watch all of it. The line between satire and scandal grows thinner by the day. As Capitol Hill braces for impact, the public is left to wonder how much of the Communist Party freak-off was a show and how much was real. So what do you mean when you say how much was show and real?
Well, I mean, is it really political satire that they're all having a laugh at, or did they go 72 hours because they were on fucking poppers and crystal meth? That's the question, right? Like, if we had a mariachi band come to our Christmas show and play weird songs, right, lasted 2 hours. That's a normal amount of time for a joke to last.
Sure.
Well, the audience only saw an hour of that show.
72 hours is too much for it to be a joke. I think that's reasonable.
I agree.
If you go 72, if you're having to struggle to stay alive, then it's not a fucking joke.
Have you ever seen 6th Street after Halloween? Because it's just clothes. It's just abandoned costumes all over the grounds at the end of the night.
No.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was here for a Halloween party, and I was like, they were like, "Oh man, have you ever been to 6th Street for Halloween?" I was like, "No." And we were shooting downtown, so I was staying there. So I just walked. I was at the Omni, so I just walked down one block, and the Halloween party is fucking. It's rad. I mean, but everybody's dressed up in the streets. But at the end of the night, as everybody gets sloppier and sloppier, you're seeing like Spider-Man mask costumes on the ground. I mean, it's hilarious and disgusting at the same time, where you're just like, all right, you've got puke all over a Hulk costume.
And then for the next 3 months, you see all the homeless people wearing recycled Halloween costumes.
Yep. I get a costume like Captain America, where I thought was Captain America.
Yeah, there's a Grinch down there somewhere who's been really causing problems.
Living in the woods, dude. Wow. 72 hours though, that's big commitment. I'm gonna be real with you on that one, man. I don't think I could do Mal for 72 hours straight.
Not even with the Scotch tape?
You got to get Daniel Day-Lewis or somebody like that in there. I understand why the politicians would want to do it. Yeah, I'm not a big IV guy. I don't like needles. I've got a fear of heights and needles, and I know that's weird.
Same.
But yeah, I can't do it. So 72 hours, and plus that yellow face paint for me is going to melt real quick. I'm a sweater. Like, I get hot a lot.
Well, you just said they're cranking the heat up.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so like that makeup
you
would
don't stand a chance.
Man, there'd have to be makeup on standby or some other room where I could reapply makeup or something.
Well, you know he would have that.
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm positive he would have something like that.
Dan, how bad is this going to get then? Because you could sue for defamation right now if this was not true. He has not.
Yeah.
So how bad is this going to get?
We'll see how long Diddy stays alive, I guess.
Ooh.
Right.
I mean, he's lived this far. Yeah. I'm surprised. By the way, I am shocked that he's lived this long.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
This is why you send all the video to the press.
Oh, first?
To Drinkin Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To 9221 Highway 290 West, Austin, Texas, 78736. I would, like, if you have the VCR footage, like, whatever, man.
He's been charged with, like, forced or coerced sex trafficking, which in the U.S. is usually, like, you have to, if it's 18 or over, you have to physically force them or take advantage. They're retarded and you took advantage of them. It's got to be very provable. And if they're under 17 or under 18, if they're 17 or younger, just moving them from one state to another would apply to that. And the second charge is moving people for the sake of prostitution, which carries like a 10-year sentence. And then the other one is racketeering or some shit. It's conspiracy. So but that's an add-on charge.
You can't fly in prostitutes. That's considered against the law?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so that's how they got that guy in Wilmington. He was going state lines from South Carolina to North Carolina, which the strip clubs from Myrtle Beach to Wilmington are only like an hour apart. Drive, I'm not kidding. Okay. And so that's how they busted this guy. You can pull him up. What was the name of that strip club in Wilmington? There was only one.
I don't know. Never been.
I think it was called the Gold something. We used to pass it all the time because it was right by it was literally right by the college. But that's how they popped him, was overstate prostitution. It wasn't anything underage. And I think that guy got 40 years, if memory serves me correct. Yeah. It just happened maybe, I don't know, 10 months ago. Cheetah, that's it. There it is. Look at that.
Cheetah.
It's just in a strip mall.
It's called
dude.
Cheetah.
It's right next to
The cars in front of it.
They've got a Bentley and a fucking Ferrari parked out front.
So perfect.
and but here's the hilarious thing about this photo. Is that up on screen, Bob? Yeah. All right, go back to this Ferrari and thing. Okay, right there.
That's so good.
That's a
There
Bentley,
is a
right?
burger joint that is literally right next door.
Yeah, it's Cookout.
Where it's the Cookout burger, yeah.
Because that's the only burger joint in fucking Wilmington.
And I love Cookout, so I'm fine with it. But let's not pull up in the Ferrari and be like, yeah, I'm big time. And then we're going to Cookout afterwards. Like, sorry about it. But yeah, Homeboy got like 40 years for that. So if that's the case, why not just lead with that in the flight logs and say, all right, we got you going state lines with prostitutes. Like, let's get this over with.
Well, they did the grand jury, which means he knows what evidence the government has against him. And the federal government offered him a plea bargain that included no jail time. And he said, no, let's go to trial. So they feel very confident that the government doesn't have a case.
Wait, they offered Diddy no jail time?
I did read that.
No way. And he didn't want to take that?
It probably would have included an allocution, probably restitution to any women that might be abused or anything like that, and then 5-10 years probation or some bullshit.
No, let me ask you this serious question. No drugs and things like that? Alcohol?
They would be tacked onto these charges if that was the case.
No, but on the probation.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Not be allowed.
You can't do drugs or alcohol. Like you get tested every week.
I know this sounds fucked up, but I think that's probably the one that was the sticking point.
Fuck that.
He was like, yo, dude, no drugs for 10 years? He's like, nah, dude.
I don't know.
I'll beat this rap.
I don't know what they offered him, but probation certainly wasn't part of it, and you can't do drugs or drink on probation, typically.
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder he's going to trial. I bet he's like, fuck it, dude. Yeah, I'm a swinger. I get down, and this is who I am. And then what's the story after that?
Yeah.
If you come out and say all the things that you did, and then you got these text messages and all this other shit, like, do you actually bat an eye if he gets off and he's a rap mogul for 40 fucking years? And you're like, well, I guess just that's how they fucking party.
I mean, I'm still not sure who the victims are.
Right.
To be honest, like
Right.
if I make a phone call to a different state and tell an adult I'll pay you X amount of dollars to come here and perform this service, that's none of the
There's no
government's business,
there's
dude.
no
There's no
victim.
victim in that.
But if you
like
send
a crime requires
a private jet.
It doesn't matter. A crime requires a victim, and the victim cannot be the state, and it cannot be yourself. Period.
Yeah.
But those prostitutes that I was talking about in Wilmington, they were strippers, and then he was just shipping them in, and they were doing prostitute shit. Is that where, because money changed hands?
Not one person, to include Interpol, has tried to charge any Eastern Bloc or ex-Soviet or fucking Persian businessman with flying American internet thoughts over to fucking Dubai to bang them in their butts on a boat for $25,000 to $50,000 for the summer. Not one person has ever been even brought up on charges for that.
They're making.
So then,
Well, that's the base fee.
Well, then
Obviously,
That's the base fee?
That's
You get
the base
paid
fee,
more
yeah.
for
God,
doing
what am I
other
doing
stuff.
with my life?
You could be doing a lot more, Sarah. That's your own fault, though. That's your own fault. So then, serious question. At the end of this, what happens? What do you guys think?
I mean, if I'm Diddy, I make the case about everybody but me. Like you're saying that I did this, but what I did was engage in consensual behavior with other adults. Here are all these high-profile fucking people that are in government that were also involved in it. So if you're going to charge me, you got to charge them too. I think he's running a gambit here that they won't charge these other people, so they're going to have to cut him loose.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Interesting.
I agree.
And he's
I don't
probably
think he's gonna
right
get
about
charged.
that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get convicted, I should say. But I also have a problem with Dan, you were saying forced or coerced sex trafficking. Like, those are not similar to me. Those are two totally different things. One of them is absolutely wrong. The other one is like, how do you define coercion?
Yeah, I mean, are you going to like arrest every dude that told a woman he loved her?
Well,
so you
right,
get
like,
laid?
please go out with me, right? Like, is that coercion, you know?
I mean, it
I'll send
is.
you a
Please
plane
come to my
ticket.
party.
I'll send you a plane
Yeah.
ticket on Southwest.
It is. Oh, I've got a bunch of.
Bonnaroo.
I'm rich. I'm just waiting to inherit money, or I've got Bitcoin, or my business is going to be really big, and then you fucking fuck the guy for 6 months and
Right.
realize he's a retarded person.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's not coercion.
Well, it is by definition, but how is that a crime?
Well, right, and
You know
that's what
I
I'm
mean?
saying is like, I just don't know how you can. That seems so subjective. I just don't think. I think the more people he starts naming, I think that this is a strategy for him. You think it's an accident that he named the minority leader of Congress?
No.
He's like, this is a signal, I think he's sending. I'm going to name drop all of you guys if you don't do what you can to get me out of this, because I'm not going to go down by myself.
Interesting. That's a wild one, man. We'll keep an eye on this because Obama's still out there, from what we've heard. And
Well, he's not out
I mean, he's
yet.
God. There's how many photos of the two of them together? I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah. Do you remember
that whole 08 campaign?
Yeah.
It was Diddy and him. What was it? Rock the Vote or what was it called, Bob?
It's vote or die.
Vote or die.
Die.
This is gonna, to be honest, rock America.
Yeah.
Could you remember when you found out that Liberace and George Michael were gay?
Yeah. George Michael blew my tits off.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
It ruined my life.
He looked like the straightest dude ever that fucked hard and only women and loved pussy.
Yeah.
And then when I found out that he was gay, I was stunned that day.
It really upset me.
And the way he switched overnight too was nuts. Do you remember that? Because he sucked that dude's dick in a bathroom
In LA,
then immediately out of nowhere shot a music video with a hit song of him dressed up like a sexy police officer. Pull that picture up, Bob.
I was kidding. He was always gay.
I didn't know he was gay.
That's your problem.
I know. And that's what that's one that I still feel guilty about.
You should probably take a look at the man in the mirror.
I did. I've Michael Jackson myself. And I did look in the mirror and I was like, what a fucking idiot
That
I
was 1992 when that bust happened, and it was a public bathroom at a park in Los Angeles. That's where he got caught sucking some.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot about
So
that.
find a picture of George Michael from 1989 when he was still with women.
Well, wait, hang on. Bob, show that one real quick because that was the one I was talking about.
That's obvious,
but
right?
So he shot a music video like a week later.
Yeah.
And then no one cared after that. It was like, oh.
No one ever cared.
But initially they did because so many women loved George Michael and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then he made the gayest video of all time. And then all of us were like, oh. Well, fuck, dude. He just parties, man. I mean, shit. You should have just told us all along.
What year is this, Bob? Here he is in a
Said 89.
Guys,
tight shirt and fucking all black denim trim. I mean, he's just gay.
That's
gay.
All right, Bob. Now pull up a picture of Poison and Brett Michaels fucked, okay? And you tell me, with the whole entire band painted up like this, that you wouldn't have had sex with CeCe DeVille back in the day? Probably, like on accidents, because you thought he was a pretty little lady. Like, look at that. So that was just the era.
No, it's different. This is like.
Those are guys?
Yeah. This is a caricature.
All of them are men.
This is a caricature, though, right? This is drag. It's like a caricature of a woman from the man's perspective. That's what drag is. It's not supposed to look extremely feminine. These guys are hair metal band, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing a caricature of femininity. This dude, George Michael, was sucking dicks.
Yeah.
And obvious, like where's the trimmed up beard? Yeah, they're wearing makeup and stupid hair and fucking frilly clothes and shit, but they don't have the lined up beard.
That's true.
They don't like, if you took the hair and the makeup away, that's a straight man, obviously. Same thing with Dee Snider, all these guys, right? Bon Jovi back in the 80s. They had the gay look, but obviously heterosexual men. George Michael never looked heterosexual.
I think Dee Snider is gay. I think he's the only one.
No.
Look that up. Fact check.
He did a thing on Chappelle's show one time about, I like gay people, but why are you guys always staring at me? So he's not gay.
He's not. Dee Snider's not gay?
No, of course not.
Married
To a chick?
to a chick, and he's actually been married for 40 years.
Is it Macron's wife's sister? By any chance? Or no? No, just. Look, I'm throwing it out there.
Did you see her sit down at that meeting the
Oh
other
my
day?
God!
Yes.
Not to sit on her penis like
Yeah.
that. My
It's
God,
like,
yeah.
when you
Sorry,
wear,
Dee Snider.
when
by the way.
if you wear pants that tight, you're always in danger of squishing one of your nuts.
You are. You don't
know anything about this.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
You could burst a ball immediately.
Yeah.
That's the only way you sit down if you're worried about bursting a ball.
I mean, I can
That's
tell
the
you as a
noise she
woman-
made when she sat down.
I can tell you
Because
as
it
a
always
woman,
comes with that
I've never-
noise too. Yeah.
I have never thought to sit the way that she just manspread.
Because you have a vagina.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
The way that Homeboy sat down was like, man, I'm gonna burst a nut. I gotta
that's
ease this back.
That's too weird. That's got to be a dude.
Yeesh, dude. Wow. When it comes to Father's Day, some things never change. Dad wants a steak. That'll lead us to our next advertiser. Our title sponsor, Omaha Steaks.com. God, they're going to love this one. Promo code Drinkin Bros for $30 off at checkout. There's no better way to spend Father's Day than grilling with the family. From USDA certified tender steaks to burgers and more, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience, guaranteed to secure your spot as Dad's favorites. Sure is. Sure is, all right? So if you're shopping for dad out there, this is a great gift. It just gets delivered right to the house. Just got another shipment yesterday. Ice cold box. It was 107 in Texas yesterday. I didn't get out of work until late. By the time I got home, it was still on my porch. Shit was frozen solid. I was like, God damn, all right. Omaha Steaks does it, dude. It's real. So they make it easy to deliver an unforgettable gift for dad. When you shop online, and that's the perfect gift. They got an unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers. I feel like I'm reading Diddy testimony, too, a little bit with all of these words here. Grass-fed. Man, still another one there. Grain-finished beef, yeah, as more marbling for exceptional flavor. And the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. The fan favorite filet mignon. Yes, that's the very best. I eat 6 of those a week, I think, from these guys. And their new smash burgers, which are built for the grill, are incredible. Butchers since 1917, family-owned company for over 100 years, and their expertise in the meat industry has extended even longer. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, dessert, and easy-to-prepare comfort food. This Father's Day, give Dad the world's best steak experience with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for guaranteed perfect gifts that deliver legendary quality. For an extra $35 off, use promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. That is omahasteaks.com. And an extra $35 off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. See site for details. And then, Bob, next time, if you want to pop up Omaha Steaks, they would love it. If you pop them up on screen there on YouTube there, they got all the fan faves right on the homepage.
We don't want to interrupt Bob from whatever he's doing during the show.
Yeah, what were you doing back there, Bob?
Texting Gary.
About
Riff
Raff?
Isn't Gary right there?
Yeah, well, he can't talk to me. We're booking dudes for the shows
Oh, I
next
bet
week.
you are.
Yeah.
Bringing them across the state lines.
Yeah,
We're all booking dudes here. Sorry about it.
Before the show, we told him we're off for all Memorial Day weekend from Friday to Monday, and they've just been nonstop texting the whole time.
I know. We're this is a true story too, because Gary's like, "Hey man, can I have tomorrow afternoon off?" I was like, "Well, yeah. What the fuck's going on?" He's like, "We're doing a music video with Riff Raff and Hard AF Seltzer," and I go, "Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead and put that in there." Get him on the show while you're at it. Let's go. Next up, Iran capitulates to Trump. Iran is ready to sign a nuclear deal with certain conditions with President Donald John Trump in exchange for lifting economic sanctions. A top advisor to Iran's supreme leader told NBC News on Wednesday. You really going to make me say this guy's name? Ali Shamakani Haneh.
This one's actually pretty easy.
Is it? Shamakani 9/11?
Shamkhani.
Shamkhani? Shamkhani?
Shamkhani. There's no extra syllable.
I wish we had that Punjabi song right now. Shamakhani?
Well, that's India. This is
Same thing.
What's
same
the
thing.
difference?
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's like Mexicans, dude.
No,
It's like her.
Persians are actually Caucasian.
Are they really?
No.
Come on.
Iranians, yeah.
All right.
They come from the Caucasus region. That's what Caucasian comes from.
No shit. Look at you, dude.
You guys are fucking stupid.
Look at you with all your fancy words
So
in college.
Shamkhani is a top political, military, and nuclear advisor to Supreme Commander or Supreme Leader Ayatollah Al Khamenei. He's one of the most senior Iranian officials. And he said Iran would commit to never making nuclear weapons, getting rid of its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, which can be weaponized, agreed to enrich uranium to the lower levels needed for civilian use, and allow international inspectors to supervise the process in exchange for immediate lifting of all economic sanctions on Iran. So a lot of people, they still have work to do here. This is not done because we're not going to let them enrich uranium either. There's a plan. I actually learned this from a Drinkin Bro who works in nuclear tech.
Okay.
The U.S. government was working on a plan from the 2008 to 2010 time period. It started under Bush and went under Obama, where the United States basically was going to partially fund and coordinate with a European company to enrich low enriched uranium for Iran, right? And also help them set up their nuclear facilities for energy. So they never had to ever enrich anything, right? So there would be no need for certain, like a heavy water reactor. They wouldn't need that, which is what you need to make highly enriched uranium. And instead, Obama gave them $150 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they could fund Hamas and Hezbollah for the
Sure.
next 15 years. That's what ended up happening, right? But yeah, we have one more step to go. We're like, all right, Iran, good plan, except for we're going to enrich the uranium, and that's the end. That'll be the end of the deal.
Will they agree to it?
Yes.
And how fast do you think this will take place?
I mean, it's going to have to go over the course of some amount of time, right? Because they're already doing stuff. We're going to have to send in inspectors. We're going to have to take the highly enriched uranium away from them. We're going to have to, I guess, safely close down those plants that make that, because it's a different style plant that makes low enriched uranium. And then we'll have to see what else we're going to do as far as constructing these things, because the new name in the game here is SMRs, or small modular reactors, right? Instead of having to build a giant nuclear facility and then all the infrastructure around it to carry that power around your country. And I'm not sure how Iran is situated in this regard, so TBD on how they handle this. But SMRs, you can build in specific locations, like one in a city, to power that whole city or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it might be more along those lines. The problem is you can only make about 6 SMRs a year right now with current production capabilities. So I don't know what their big plan is. Haven't seen the details yet. But this is like this is what Trump started under the original Abraham Accords. This is the whole point. Countries, like, there's a direct line from energy output to economic success in any country for the history of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And rich countries, by and large, don't sit around thinking about bad people. Like, death to them. Like, Saudi Arabia is not talking about America anymore, except for to invest in our economy. Qatar just got bitch slapped big time by Israel, and it took them 6 months to make a deal with us because they don't want to fucking face the consequences of their past behavior, right?
But the problem is,
this is American soft power in action. This is what we should have been doing since the 1940s.
But Sarah, do you trust it? Like, do you trust Iran for anything, though, is the question.
No, but I at least trust our leadership more than I did under the previous leadership. So, I mean, I would never trust, even if they signed on the dotted line with blood, that they were going to abide by what they claim that they're going to abide by. I just don't think they're trustworthy.
We don't need them to be trustworthy.
Well,
right? Like,
right.
So
would they allow our people in there?
that's part of the deal.
Okay,
And
that's
right. And then it's like,
that's
I mean,
part
what
of
else
the
can
deal
they do?
already, right? And then
Yeah.
we have new tech now with airborne GPR, or ground penetrating radar, where we can see if they have. We found some reactors last week actually that they said didn't exist, and that's what precipitated all this.
Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Huh.
If you're Trump, though, do you go over there and broker this deal in person?
It'll happen in Turkey probably, or either Turkey or Saudi Arabia, or maybe Qatar.
Okay.
Yeah.
In one of those. You don't go to Iran.
No.
Yeah, I figured not.
Although it would be kind of a big dick move to go into Iran.
I agree.
If anyone would do it, it would be
It would be
him.
Trump. Yeah. And he loves celebrities. I'd bring Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
1.29
alive?
gigawatts. Oh yeah,
He's alive.
Oh, wow.
And guess what? Who knows more about nuclear than Doc Brown? He got fucking killed for it. You know? I think, well, we all remember that. Those Libyans showed up at the mall and murked him, dude. Michael J. Fox saved his life. So, yeah. I think this would be all right if it's under control, but if not, dear God. Because didn't they try to do this bullshit once before where, oh, hey, we're just building some things and don't worry about it. Everything's all good. And we had to blow up one of their things. Blow up one of their
things.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, one of their little
you know.
facilities, one of their little shacks, or wherever they produce it.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Which is why I'm saying, like, they're not trustworthy, but, I mean, if you can make progress with them, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Look, I'm down. I guess, you know, give it a shot.
Right.
And then if you have to send in bombs, look that up, Bob, because we did send in bombs to hit some of those facilities.
We didn't, but so the big attack
I think we did.
No. The big attack was, there were two of them. One was sorties, where we blew up a couple of facilities. But the biggest attack we've ever launched there was Stuxnet. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was some kind of worm code that was that an infiltrator, an Israeli citizen who was living in Iran, uploaded into one of their the computer systems at a reactor and melted that motherfucker down.
It wiped it out. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the NSA,
yeah.
the NSA wrote that software. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if that's classified or not, but it's public knowledge. Now you can look it up. I don't. I mean, they say things are classified that you can look up on the internet. That's not classified.
Yeah.
Like in a court of law, if they're like, that's classified, I'm like, well, it's on Google, so
Right.
Exactly.
it's obviously not.
Next up, sponsor-wise, mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Get off the couch and get into the action today with mybookie.com. God damn it, Delco. That fucking Gerard guy finished at -5. I missed by one stroke today. Is that what happened?
It's not over. I mean, Victor.
It's over for me.
I mean, Hovland's coming, bro.
Hovland's, did you have Hovland as the first round leader? I
Yeah,
didn't.
not for today.
To win.
I had
Yeah, to
Steven
win.
Yeager today at 11. It was plus 110. I would have won $11,000.
Wait, who's that
And he
dick-
finished one shot off the lead.
Who's that dick
God
who's
damn
been the
it.
first round leader for like the last
Keith
4
Mitchell.
tournaments? Mitchell. What's he doing?
He's at 1 over.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I missed this
6
by
strokes
one
back.
stroke. Fuck. Cam Davis is up there too. God damn it.
He'll never win.
I mean, no, he's not going to win. But we had first round leaders the other day on the show, and that pissed me off. All right, I usually do really, really well on these fake news shows, gambling wise. So I'm going to give you an NBA pick here. Tonight is Thunder Nuggets. This is OKC -5.5. D'Anthony, who you got? You got Thunder over the Nuggets tonight?
No, Nuggets win.
I got Nuggets as well. So that's where I'm going tonight, man. I'm going with the Nuggets. Shit. Probably even take that money line and get rid of that 5.5 points. I think the Nuggets win this game and it goes 7.
I think the Nuggets win this game and then they lose by like 20 in Game 7.
Yes, I agree.
They just don't have the dudes. I mean, it's not. They have great dudes. They just don't have enough.
They don't have the lineup on the bench there to keep throwing at these young kids. But yeah, I got the Nuggets tonight. And on a money line bet like this, what does that pay off at, Bob? Getting rid of that 5.5, probably 2.5 to 1.
Yeah, I think about that. Let me double check.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. So, yeah, let's roll with the Nuggets tonight. NBA playoffs are going on right now. Just had all the spring games. And so they updated all the college football national championship odds.
Oh, boy.
Sarah, you're going to be happy to know that she's a Texas fan.
Yeah.
Texas fan. They're right there. They're at 2. They're the second favorite team to win the national championship this year. Do you think Arch can do it?
I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I've just been so dejected for so long. We've had like decades of rebuilding years. So I don't want to get my hopes up, but I hope.
Yeah, because they're up there right now. We looked at it yesterday on the show. Ohio State is still favored at 1. I don't really know why because
Say
they got
that so casually.
Well, no,
My team's still favored.
it's not because they have a new quarterback. So I don't really understand that. Like I would put money on Arch to be honest with you right now, just because I don't know what that other kid's going to do for Ohio State.
I can tell you this.
And I'd put money on Penn State's.
Okay, I can tell you this. The last game that we played, which was against you guys,
Mm-hmm.
I was begging them to put in Arch. In
Same.
the stands, just like, put in Arch. What are you doing?
I said that when the playoffs started, they should put in Arch
Yes,
Manning. He's
multiple times.
especially in a playoff environment, he's just a more dynamic player.
Yeah.
He's got more, there's more things he can do. Not that Quinn Ewers wasn't a good passer, but Arch can also run, and he's a big motherfucker, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's huge.
That was a huge mistake on their part, I think.
Yeah.
But they, what could they have really done, to be honest?
I don't know.
Although Saban did it.
yes,
Yeah, he
Fucking
did.
Jalen Hurts
Yeah,
and,
he did.
Tua. So
Yep.
he absolutely did it. So if you believe in these odds of these teams or everything else, like because I would not put a team at number 1 gambling favorite with an unknown quarterback who has never touched the field. That's bananas to me. So
Yeah.
there's better odds with Texas or Penn State right now. Your husband is Bama.
Yep.
Bama's in there as well. They're 12.5 to 1 to win the national. I don't know who their quarterback is though either. So.
I don't either.
Because Milroe left,
Yeah.
so he got drafted by the pros, but they're up there as well. So now's a great time if you're out there and you believe in your team. Bet on them now. It's called a future bet, and that'll come home because with the top team now, I would not bet on a team where you don't know who the quarterback is. You can bet on the NFL as well. The entire schedule just dropped. Point spread is out. Delco's Eagles are favored versus the Cowboys. Sorry again, Sarah. Opening night there in Philadelphia. That spread is -7, and the over-under is -46.5. How they already know that this far in advance, no idea. It's some old school junkie shit, but I love it. And you can bet on everything over there. Also, if you're not watching their live blackjack show on Friday nights, it's real dealers around the world. It's a fucking blast. Hot Bob and Delco were playing that on Friday Night Blackjack. All of that is through mybookie.com. Use that promo code Drinkin Bros to double that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Next up, the US-Syria deal. Is that in place?
TBD.
Okay.
But it looks like it's going to work, yeah.
Donald Trump met with Syria's president in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday and urged him to normalize ties with longtime foe Israel after a surprise U.S. announcement that it would lift all sanctions on the Islamic-led government. Trump then flew to Qatar, where he oversaw the signing of a deal for the Gulf Arab country to buy jets from U.S. manufacturer Boeing. How's that working out these days? Boeing is still in the mix?
They're only 10 years behind, I think, on the plane.
Yeah, so why would they offer that up?
Well, I mean, it's a plane that's already built.
Okay.
That was built recently for the Qatari government. It's which is kind of like
Still Boeing, though, by the way?
yeah.
Okay.
Not sure the optics are great taking a plane from a country that's a state sponsor of terrorism, right? I mean, the leader of Hamas lived there in their capital city until Israel fucking blew him up with a cell phone or some shit.
Yeah, and that's going to happen.
And Qatar was our cutout too. USAID funding Hamas went through Qatar since 2006, since they won the election, right? So it's like we say, Qatar is a state sponsor of terrorism. So is the United States.
Yeah.
Like Al Qaeda doesn't exist without us. Neither does ISIS or any of these other groups. So now the interesting thing about this is the deal with Syria is with that dude who is a former Al Qaeda and ISIS commander. We've talked about him in the past.
Oh, he's one of our faves on the show.
He's the de facto president of Syria right now.
Jesus Christ.
And that's the guy.
It's like barbecue down in Haiti.
Yeah, his name is Ahmed.
Ahmed, I believe that's pronounced.
I don't care. Shara. Yeah, he was head of Al Qaeda in that area for a while, and then ISIS. Trump said that he was a good-looking dude, young and smart.
He said that on film?
Yeah.
We have that footage, Bob? That would be great.
He does that.
Yeah.
Good-looking.
He does do that.
Young. How does he know? Aren't they all toweled up anyways?
He said he was an attractive guy with a very strong past.
You don't say.
Now,
how strong, Dan?
Strong.
How many people has he killed?
a lot.
That's the most Trump thing I've ever heard.
I've got to hear this. Play this clip. Is this real? Go ahead.
Right. I think very good. Young, attractive guy, tough guy. Strong pass. Very strong pass fighter. But he's got a real shot at pulling it together. Right.
So this is.
I love it.
I don't know if you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean the audience mostly, but I don't know if you picked up on this yet. But Trump usually talks nice about his enemies that he's trying to bring into the fold, and he talks very strongly about his near friends who are fucking up. Like right, so he'll call Keir Starmer a fucking retard or whatever, or Mark Carney like, we're gonna make you the 51st state. Yeah. But when he's reaching out to somebody trying to actually get a deal done, he uses kind language about it. That's smart. He's a businessman. Right? Now, a lot of people are upset about this because, again, this guy is a terrorist.
Yeah, there's that old thing.
Well, there is that old thing. So just for some historical context, we have to look at Japan after World War II. Do you remember a man named Hirohito, the emperor of Japan?
Sure do.
And how he was in charge of probably the most brutal military campaign in the history of human beings.
Yeah.
Fuck what the Nazis did. What the Japanese did to the Chinese was way worse. Unit 713, which no guarantees that Hirohito knew about that or was involved in it necessarily, but he definitely knew about the death cult that was Imperial Japan. Kamikaze planes flying into battleships and shit like that. That was all him, right? And they were planning to fight until the last man from the islands all the way up to Japan. In 1946, Douglas MacArthur, who was in charge of Japan, kind of like a viceroy, I guess, of Japan, they started having war crime tribunals, and he excluded all of the evidence against Hirohito, all of it, removed all the evidence of war crimes intentionally to keep Hirohito in power, where he stayed until his death in 1989. So the guy who was in charge of Imperial Japan during World War II and was the most brutal dictator on earth at the time was kept in power for an additional 50 years after that. And what happened during that time, Japan went from an imperialist death cult to what we see today, which is it's the third largest economy on earth and very peaceful, right? So you can be mad about it. It doesn't really taste great, to be honest. And I'm sure GWOT people feel the same way about this. that the dudes who were in the Philippines or on those islands in the Marine Corps feel about what happened with Hirohito, but it's hard to argue with the results because Japan is one of our closest allies and one of the most successful countries on earth.
I just don't know that the Middle East will ever change, and I think that's my biggest problem with
Well, that's
all
what
this
people
shit.
said about Japan.
I understand that,
But during the last 25 years, we've seen UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Jordan, so on and so forth, all change. Like you're saying that you don't know if they're capable of doing. They've all literally done it.
But if you're looking at Syria, you think Afghanistan will ever change? I mean, for real, you were over there. Like, do you think
Afghanistan?
Yeah.
TBD on that. Right? They don't have natural resources like these other countries have. So Afghanistan's biggest natural resource is their location. Now, they can grow a lot of poppy and make heroin and shit like that, but their greatest location is because of their location. That's why the Soviets invaded them, because they want to put that pipeline through Afghanistan. It's shorter to get to Europe that way, right? So that's why when people get all out of their minds when Afghanistan talks about the Taliban reaches out to Russia or China to form an alliance, like, of course they do. Those are the two countries that want to put energy pipelines to their country. So why, and what does that got to do with us? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with us.
I think for me, we watched the deal the other day, and I'm sure you had it on your show, Sarah, with Trump signing the $600 billion? $600 billion, right, for that deal?
Yeah.
With Saudi Arabia?
Yep. And then another 1.2 trillion with Qatar.
Right. And obviously, we know Saudi Arabia did 9/11, so we're willing to overlook that. That'll lead me to the next thing. Do we give a shit about the jet? Do you care about the jet?
Japan did Pearl Harbor.
Totally.
And then literally 5 years later, 5 years, not 25, 5 years later, we said, Hirohito, you get to stay in power. Because we think this is going to be the best thing, and it turned out to be the right choice.
But the other day, you cared about the jet, which is, I said I don't give a shit about the jet. I don't either.
I don't care. The only thing I care about is that it is safe. Like, we double check it and make sure that it is safe for the president to ride in.
I think you leave it to some of the people at Southwest and have them kind of oversee it. And then, I'll take their word for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would never trust that these people, like, respect us or want to be our friends. But if they fear us enough to get in line, I'm fine with that. Right? If they fear, economic repercussions too much that they're willing to get in line, okay, that's fine. Give us the jet, I guess.
There's also there's twofold. So the American soft power is always backed by American military power in two ways, right? So one of them is we straight up told Israel not to do shit, and they're not allowed to do shit. They talked like, oh, we're going to fucking do this anyways. And Netanyahu does this little press conference about how they're going to disengage from the American economy. No, you're not, because you can't exist like that.
Right.
Fuckface. Nobody believes you because they know it's not true, right? So there's that on the soft side. On the hard side, on the hard power, like military power side, don't forget that we put 7 fucking B-2s on Diego Garcia, that island, with bunker busters on it. And we told the world that we did it, too. It wasn't a secret. We were like, hey, we're putting the planes we have that you can't see, that have a radar signature the size of like a fucking nickel and can drop a bomb on your cities without you knowing about it and destroy your entire country. There's 7 of them right there. So let's play, right?
Yeah, so for me, if we're gonna give all these other countries a shot, I don't give a fuck about the plane then.
Right.
Like if we're going all in on the Middle East and that they're gonna change and all this other shit, then I definitely don't care about a fucking plane.
Right.
And if it's Boeing, like you said, who's already 10 years behind on Air Force One.
I mean, it's a Boeing plane that was just built a couple years ago.
Right,
and,
but why
and keep
are
in mind
they-
that Air Force One is 40 years old.
Why
Why are they building a plane for Qatar before they're building
Well, I
one
mean,
Yeah.
for us?
that's a good question. A better question might be, why do like 15 different universities take billions of dollars in grant money from Qatar, including Texas A&M, by the way?
Yeah.
Well, we have a campus there.
Yeah.
We have a Bob. Can you pull up
I've
that
done
campus
shows
of
on
Texas
that.
A&M?
That's nuts, actually.
Yeah, there's an Aggies.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing over there.
So that's going to be part of it too, right? So, the Qatari government has invested billions of dollars in American universities, more than any Marxist organization that I'm aware of, right? Mm-hmm. More than China.
Yes.
So far as we can track, it's been more than China, right? So, American soft power is saying, hey, you guys want to participate in the American economy like this?
Yeah.
Fine, but you're going to play by the fucking rules. And that's using our economy to the best in the best possible way that we can. It's what, by the way, American soft power is the only reason that China has not invaded Taiwan. because they know if they invade that we're not going to stop them. I don't care what fucking agreement we signed. We're not getting into a war with China over Taiwan. And China knows that most of our microprocessors are made there, so they're going to try to keep it tight to fuck with us a little bit. But they also know if they step over that line and fuck with our economy in a direct way and not this soft Cold War bullshit, that we'll fuck them up.
Yeah, it was like honestly the most sobering moment for me of understanding exactly what you're talking about with America being so important to the entire globe. And
47% of global purchases. We're 6% of the global population. It's crazy.
It's nuts. But like you grow up and you get told that, you get taught America is so important to global stability. And so it's something that you inherently learn. But you don't actually see it firsthand until you see the stark contrast between the last administration and this administration. And you're like, holy shit. They were right, because you saw how quickly everything devolved and how quickly it can devolve with the wrong leadership, with weak leadership. And so it's actually incredible to me to watch just how important it is. I've never, in my adult life, I had never seen it play out in front of my eyes the way that I've seen it play out.
Well, it doesn't matter how good your equipment is or your strategy if you suck.
Right. Well, we were recruiting like lesbians.
Yeah.
They literally had, military recruiting ads. It was like a lesbian like talking about why she joined the military because she's a lesbian.
And not a sweet one either. Like,
no.
Yeah, it wasn't like a rock star hot one.
No.
So,
do they exist?
They do. It's very rare, but that's the whole male thing of like, man, I'll be the one to turn the hot one. And you're like, no, sorry about it.
The problem with all this is obviously the problem with any kind of plan or power. It's succession. Like who comes next, and are they going to continue with the plan, right? Because we can build all this infrastructure for stabilizing the Middle East, which is should have already been nominated for and won a Nobel Peace Prize just for what he's done so far this year. Now that'll happen in the fall, and I think the awards are given out in the spring.
He will not be on that list. Never going to be on that list.
Probably not.
Never.
Probably not. Never say never.
The Nobel Peace Prize doesn't mean anything anymore, though.
They hate Jews. Now, they didn't used to, because Jews used to win Nobel Prize a lot. Yeah. The last 20 years, very few, which is odd, because there's a lot of Jews in STEM.
Yeah.
But yeah, for physics, there was so many Jews that won.
So many Jews in STEM. So many Jews in STEM. But beautiful Jews.
But now it's like, what can Trump do to make this stuff permanent, right? And what you do is you incentivize the other guys so much to participate in a meaningful way in our economy that it doesn't matter who, like if Biden comes next and stops paying attention, they're going to cheat and get away with some stuff. But there's only going to be so much that they can do, because they know at some point another guy's going to come in and hold them accountable, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, Japan has been running tariffs on us since World War II that are unfair, 40% or something like that. And they just got away with it. But that's not a huge deal. That's not a security issue for us. That's just kind of annoying that they're taking advantage. But that's not a security. It's not like being a state sponsor of terrorism, for example.
Yeah.
Now, with you being a diehard Texas fan, are you jealous when you see, because that's obviously your rival there, that the Aggies have a university over in Qatar like that?
No, I'm not.
You're sure? Pop that up on screen one more time there, Bob.
Ugly.
That is beautiful.
Ugly as hell.
That is very Middle Eastern, but it's also got a little Texas flair there, too.
Does it?
It looks like a little Santa Fe type of vibe.
It looks like a Waffle House in a community college had a baby.
Yeah, it sure does.
It does. Oh, my gosh.
It looks like San Antonio. Sorry, not Santa Fe. Santa Fe is in New Mexico. I'm still thinking about Gene Hackman, R.I.P. But,
that is ugly as hell. No.
Yeah, it looks like a giant chimney in the middle of it, where it's like, hey, walk right in. You're going to get cooked right up there. That's nice.
They put the Jews in the bottom, I think.
They do. And the NFL just announced their slate last night, 18 games that are going to be played overseas. So, dude,
really?
Why not have the Aggies play in Qatar? I think that would be fun.
I think it would.
That'd be good.
An SEC matchup, dude?
I think
Georgia versus A&M live from Qatar.
I don't know about college football, but an American football game in one of those big soccer stadiums anywhere in the Middle East would crush.
Oh, yeah.
They could make it 200,000 people and it would fucking sell out.
Well, they just had the World Cup there in Qatar. No drinking, which was fucking bullshit. Yeah. And they didn't know until they got there.
Shut up. That'd be really
So Budweiser pumped in $500 million for that whole campaign. They showed up, got there with all the signage, everything else, and the Qatari government yanked it
the
night before. Yeah. And the only place they allowed booze to be served in all their stadiums there was in the suites with the princes and all that other shit.
No.
Yeah.
And they didn't get their money back.
Nope. No. They asked for it back, but to my knowledge,
my gosh.
and you can look it up, Bob. Did Budweiser get that money back from losing that deal?
I don't know, but I think if there's another one of those, NyQuil should do it because NyQuil's legal.
It is, but you don't want to take that going into a game.
And then you're going to fall asleep.
No. You just got to power through. Right? If you want a robo trip, you drink the whole bottle.
Sure.
And you got to make it through that 20 to 30 minute period where you're trying to pass out, and then you're fucking set for about 6 hours.
I've never been to the Middle East. Is there not good drugs over there? One would think opium's still big, right?
Not a lot of cocaine.
Opium? Is opium still huge there?
Yeah.
Pass that out in the stands, you know? Sprinkle that on some Cracker
I mean,
Jacks.
how's that different than just NyQuil, though?
Doesn't that put you to sleep?
We're all different, okay? And I wish you would stop judging white people today, Sarah, because that's fucking crazy what you just asked me. All right? That is fucking insane. But yeah, to put a bow on this, if we're going to trust all these Middle Eastern countries, one, you probably got to do all of them. Try to cut deals with everybody, including Iran, which we talked about earlier there. Hope for the best. But two, most importantly, 28 then has to be won by a Republican who carries out Trump's agenda, or all of this will fall apart.
Yeah.
The exact same way it fell apart in 2020, and then all those deals went out the fucking window, and now everybody's killing each other. So,
yeah, I think Vance is the obvious choice because he's anti-war.
I love that motherfucker.
He's so good. He's so good.
God damn, I love Vance.
For the first time since the very early part of the 20th century, a president specifically went out and nominated people for VP and down the list who were literally anti-war people. Like the Secretary of Defense is on these chain like group chats trying to convince other people not to go to war. The Secretary of Defense, right?
Yeah.
It's like, when the fuck has that happened? Never. And so like I'm all in, and I hope he wins because I love him. And I was hard on him on the show, and it was it Charlie Kirk who was on that day? And Charlie Kirk is best friends with him in real life.
Yeah, they're always together.
Well, for a great reason, and I don't know if you know this story, but he was on the show 3 to 4 weeks before Trump picked his VP. And so I asked Charlie on the show, I said, who's going to get the VP? And he goes, it's JD Vance. And I go, you're out of your fucking mind. And he goes, why? And he goes, I love him. He's great or whatever. And I was like, dude, he was a never Trumper back in 2016. I was like, you got all those videos and everything else. 2019, yeah. As soon as that. And then he's from Ohio, which we already had Ohio.
Right.
We didn't need it.
Right.
Usually you go to a state that you need and you're trying to pull it in. And I told him there was no way. And he goes, I'm telling you right now, live on air, it is JD Vance. Yeah. And I go, how do you? And he's like, I'm pretty close to them. And I go, so what? At that point, there was just a short list. So I was like,
yeah.
And then he came out and won. And then even when he won, I think we went on air that day, Dan, because we were live. And I go, man, I'm not real amped with this pick. Since then, that guy went on every single television network there was, knocked it out of the park.
Destroyed them.
Still to this day is going on Meet the Press and everything every single weekend.
Yep.
Destroying people. It seems like he's a totally different person. Also, very presidential. Whereas, like we talked about DeSantis yesterday or the day before, probably never being president because he doesn't know what to do with his arms and face on camera.
Yeah.
Although he's a great leader, like Florida's great. And, you know, would I love to see the two of them together?
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
That would be a kick-ass ticket that could go potentially 8 years, not just 4. So that would rock. But, yeah, I love JD Vance, but he's got to win that to carry this out. Otherwise, all this shit will collapse again in 4 years if it goes to a Democrat.
I mean, that's clearly the plan, though, right? I mean, you couldn't pick a better predecessor. You couldn't pick a better person to carry the torch than JD Vance when you're Donald Trump, because he clearly understands the America First agenda and he's ready to implement it. And he's really freaking good at this. I don't understand why these mainstream media outlets even continue having him on. Like, if I'm them,
Ratings?
I'm like, they're going to turn.
Even if you get if you get roasted live on television.
But are people watching it live, or are they watching it on X where they've cut it and it's done millions of views and everyone's laughing at you?
Doesn't matter. So like all of those views count. And I learned this a very, very long time ago in LA where it was South Park. And they just signed this crazy deal for like $200 million. And they were like 15 seasons in at that point. And I asked one of my buddies who was an exec over there, I was like, why are they doing this to South Park right now? There's no way this many people are watching South Park to get this. And they were like, it's the clips, It's the videos. It's the way that it's shared around the world. All of it, we can monetize, advertise, tag back, and everything else. And it keeps Comedy Central in business.
Wow.
And they said, look, if they ever got rid of that show, they would probably shut down the next day. And I was like, no fucking way.
Wow.
And I never took the time to consider it,
Yeah.
which is also why I think CNN put that guy on there. What's his Jennings?
Scott Jennings.
I can never get that guy's name right.
So good.
And everybody says the same thing about him too. Of like, why would CNN put him on and let him destroy all these people night after night? That's why.
Yeah.
It's because you're getting all the clicks. It says CNN in the corner. I will tune into CNN at night just to watch that fucking dude destroy everybody on the panel.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So that's really at the end of the day all they care about. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Vance was a smart pick.
Very smart.
Well, I mean, not just a smart pick because it definitely helped get him elected, but it was a pick that communicated to voters in the middle, especially that were concerned about Trump being a megalomaniac. That like this guy actually he picked the person most like him. So dictators typically, like Saddam Hussein was notorious for this. Stalin also notorious for this. Even members of their own family, when they got too popular, they would have them killed because they don't want to challenge her, right? Trump knows what's going on here. He's 78. And he's got one more term left, right? So there's this old Greek proverb, a society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they shall never sit. And I think picking Vance over maybe even a more practical pick, which there were some, communicated to people who were voters that this guy is serious about America. And it's not just about him, like people are saying. I think that was the biggest message picking JD Vance, frankly.
I think the wildest thing for me as a Trump guy, and always have been, obviously, if you watch this show for the last 10 years, is I hated Pence so much. I hated that pick. I hated him when he was in office. I hate him now.
It was a pragmatic pick, and it was a mistake.
But he still won. So how it's tough to say that it was a mistake because he won. But he won. He won. So at the end of the day, if it's Arch Manning or fucking Ewers in there, as long as you win the game, I'm sure you don't give a shit how you win the national championship. Like, you win it. But obviously Texas didn't. Ran into a buzzsaw down there in Cowboy Stadium with Ohio State. But I know that scoop and score was right in front of your face too, Jack Sawyer. I saw where your tickets were, and it happened right in front of your face. But with Vance, that's what's so shocking to me is that not only did he get it right, but it looked like, to me, it looks like he might have got it right for 12 years. So not only this 4 years, but potentially 8 if he were to win back to back. And if you're able to actually change the world, get us out of wars, fix all these trade deals and everything else, it's got to go past 4, and you need 12.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that he's done is show that it's possible just by will and effort. Because, a really good example of it is the border situation. The Biden administration, in its totality, kept saying that we can't do this without Congress. And Congress, so far in this presidency, has passed the fewest bills of any Congress in the history of this country. 5 total bills, right? Passed and signed. So he proved them wrong. You can't have peace in the Middle East. You can't do deals with Iran. You can't do this. You can't do this. Well, you can just do whatever the fuck you want, actually. Like these old school statecraft Cold War dummies that have fucked everything up and never gotten anything right ever, which Ramaswamy in the second Repube debate lit them all up. Like Haley and these other dummies, Chris Christie and these people. Like, oh, you don't have any foreign policy experience. He goes, like, you do, and it sucks. You know what I mean? Trump just decided, like, we're going to treat this like a business. I'm going to use a stick and a carrot and make the stick big, right? And make the carrot sweet. And let's do fucking business. We're not here to be antagonistic. We're here to get great deals for American people and try to have global commerce. That's what we're trying to do. I don't give a fuck about your little gay 2,000-year-old fist fight. Like, fuck off, man. I don't have time for this shit.
It's poor people shit.
Yeah.
I mean, so essentially what he's saying is like, hey, let's stop throwing fucking sandals at each other over here and let's actually make some money.
I mean, I called that out when the Abraham Accord negotiations first started. What did I say? That he's targeting the richest countries in the Middle East to bring them into a peace deal with Israel, which is the smartest move foreign policy-wise that anybody in the history of this country has ever done, except for maybe buying Alaska, the Seward's Folly, which turned out to be quite good for us, not a folly at all, and then buying the Louisiana Purchase. Those are the 2 other foreign policy decisions we made that were great. But this one, like, this is the kind of stuff that gets you put on mountains, frankly. And that sounds like hyperbole, but we've been participating for 75 years in this fucking military-industrial complex-led bullshit that's never had any real purpose to make America safer. It's only been about making money. It's only been about robbing American taxpayers. That's it, right? And Trump just puts his dick on the table and says, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that one right there.
It's the Congosaurus Rex.
That's actually Trump's. That's a 3D version of it, dude.
I feel much weirder about grabbing it.
Well,
yeah, you didn't know it had legs, huh?
Yeah, with the Stormy Daniels trial, she said it was like a T-Rex. So, yeah, little tiny balls. I just kind of waved around. Next up, AdWise, we got firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Talking about those micro factors, dog. Best vitamins in the business, best supplement company there is, in my opinion. They take the guesswork out of supplements, and they give you the big 6. 30 individual bags in this beautiful box that I'm holding up here. A little trap door that just pops out. I'll take one of these live on air today because I'm not going to the gym. Antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and probiotics. And if you're like me, and you're not going to the gym today or you're not eating the healthiest tonight, it still is important to get the daily vitamins inside of you, which is what I'm going to do today. And then also, they're a massive, massive protein company. Dan, tell us about their protein.
It's the best in the business. In all the forms that you can consume protein. Meat sticks, powders, 2 different kinds of powders. One of them is Formula 1. It's just protein, and the other one is Level 1. Level 1 is more of a meal replacement. It's got more fat and
These
carbs
bars
and
on the
stuff,
desk.
yeah.
Yep.
And then that's what they make the bars out of, which are the best in the business. I mean, it's for no matter what your situation is, if you're just on the go or you're trying to get your kids to stop eating bullshit, either one of those things.
Yeah. Me personally, my kids love the PB&J ones. All their flavors are excellent in the bars. These are the best protein bars I've ever had. Carrot cake, birthday cake, the chocolate peanut butter pretzel one is always gone here. What else is always out of the office, Bob? The caramel one, the salted caramel one? I feel like
a few salted caramels left, but that's going fast.
That's
cookie
gone.
dough.
Cookie doughs. Yeah, long gone. Except for the one on my desk, because they know.
You're making me hungry.
Well, look, if you want one, you can have one. But they know you touch that box, you might lose a hand. We'll go Middle Eastern here. You know what I'm saying? Heads get cut off, arms. We'll throw you off the roof of the building. All that other shit. And we'll just pretend you're gay to do that. But firstform.com/Drinkin Bros will get you taken care of for everything you need in this life. The protein, we mentioned, obviously the vitamins, but they got collagen. They got a million products. Their energy drinks are fucking bomb over there. You're going to see them all over the nation very, very soon. I believe they just signed a huge deal with Anheuser-Busch as well for that. And every product they do. I know Andy Frisella is a legend and a hero, one of the top podcasters in America, but he also owns one of the finest businesses there is for real, dude, and that is business owner to business owner. So go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. We're going to get free shipping on orders over $75, and that is Firstform spelled with a 1. That is 1-STPHORM. Firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, we got the Aliens Act deportations, which are now legal. A federal judge ruled Tuesday that President Trump can invoke the Alien Enemies Act to remove Tren de Aragua. Yeah, play that music, dude. This is for Sarah.
There it is.
Sarah Gonzalez. Make me a hot dog wrapped in bacon.
Now I feel at home. There we go. Yeah.
Does that mean cock-a-doodle-doo in Spanish?
I wouldn't know.
I think you're just doing a bit from the rest of the
Thank you, dude. Get him out of the country. Sorry.
Please.
I don't know when he's going to cut the music, so I don't know how loud or low to go. That was a little louder than I anticipated, Holmes. You going to blast this fool or what, Holmes?
Yeah, you were shit pushed in. Shit pushed in, man.
What happened? You just went Macho Man.
No, that's the guy in the back, dude. He does that voice. You ever have your shit pushed in? That's the little guy that I love. Come on, dude. We got Muppets made out of those guys. Did you see them? They're the best, dude. Yeah! So let's deport all these motherfuckers. U.S. District Judge Stephanie Haynes ruling contrasts with several other federal judges who have ruled Trump illegally invoked the wartime statute. She says Trump is within his rights to deport members of a foreign terrorist organization, a designation which he's made for Tren de Aragua. Sorry. I know. I just wanted to hear it one more time. I had to.
It's catchy.
I know.
Right?
I know. And
Yeah.
this is the only song where they come up to the table where I'm like, all right, let's just get through this one. But if I hear another one, you got to get the fuck away from the table. Like, trying to have a flaming margarita, for Christ's sakes, like an adult. Haynes, a Trump appointee, emphasized her unflagging obligation to apply the law as written. And having done its job, the court now leaves it to political branches, will I bring that voice down, of the government and ultimately of the people who elect those individuals to decide whether the laws and those executing them continue to reflect their will. What I'm concerned with here is the split on judges. How does that all work out? Dan, who wins over which judge? Because I don't understand any of this shit.
Well, she's a district judge, so that's higher than anybody that's ruled on this yet.
Okay, so let's take Boasberg.
Yeah.
What is he then?
He's a lower district judge than she is.
Okay. So who wins out in that?
So she's like his boss.
Really?
No, not really.
Okay, that'd be fun though.
I don't know what district she's in, actually. Hold on.
She overrode him, though, right?
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's higher, she overrode him, so she's essentially his boss.
Yeah.
The question is, at this point now, I mean, this will go to a higher court.
It's going to go to SCOTUS eventually.
But the question is, from her perspective, she wrote a 42-page rule or 43-page ruling on this, is what I guess you're going to have to define what an invasion is or predatory incursion, because one of the things that previous judges have said is like it's not like an armed force crossed over the border. It's like, well, they weren't armed at the time.
Right.
They came here and then they armed themselves. We see these people taking over, like just in Dripping Springs.
Yeah.
And
27 were arrested?
Yeah, 27 down here. There was 40 down in San Antonio. El Paso had a bunch, and then we all know about Chicago and Denver, right? Like, it's all over the country. It's like, you're really going to split hairs over what constitutes a fucking terrorist organization? These people cut people's heads off, for Christ's sake.
Right. If you can't determine that this group is a terrorist organization, then, like, no one is.
I agree, but then how fast then can we start shipping them out, I guess is the question. If this ruling is done and it's already come down, couldn't he just do it tonight and just ship these fuckers out? Dan?
Well, he has been, hasn't he?
Who's that?
Trump.
Oh, yeah, we've, I mean, I don't know if they stopped, but we definitely shipped a bunch out.
Yeah, well, because he's been like...
Have they still been going?
Oh, I think so.
I don't know.
As far as I know.
I don't know the answer.
Now, there are Border Patrol regulations. I talked to our BP guy the other day about this. So, about deporting Venezuelan people or anybody else to, what do you call it?
El Salvador?
El Salvador. Technically, that wouldn't be the first option. But you are legally allowed, ERO is legally allowed to deport people to neighboring countries that will take them if the host country or if the home country won't. So if Venezuela says, no, we're not taking them back, then it is now legal to deport them to a nearby country if they will indeed take them. So, yeah, this is and that's established in the INA, immigration law.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Because
Get them out.
Get them out. Get them all out right now. I don't care if they are fathers in Maryland.
Nope.
I don't care about their fathers.
I don't care if they're mothers.
Madres.
I mean, O.J. Simpson was a father.
He sure was.
Right.
Sure was.
Just, it doesn't mean you're a good dude, is all I'm saying.
I don't care if they've been here for numerous years, set up their life here, had kids, established a career. Don't care.
No, me neither.
Want them gone.
You could actually shave the blonde chick on the playground who screamed out the N-word. Get her out too. Shave her head up, dude. Put her down there for a little bit and see if her tune changes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fun. But yeah,
And I don't think they need due process.
I don't either.
No.
Well, they had due process. Due process is everybody knows the law says you can't come here illegally and you're here illegally.
Yep.
Like this isn't
and they didn't care about due process when they were walking right in.
This isn't like if absent witnesses or even with one witness, I steal something from your person and then we have to go to a court and he says, yeah, I saw it. All right. There's your due process. This is you're either allowed to be here or you're not allowed to be here. And if you are here and you're not allowed to be here, your due process has been satisfied. Get the fuck out.
Yep.
Well, crank up the engines. Let's start the planes right now.
Well, I want to use trebuchets. I've said this forever.
I know you.
I just don't know how much it's going to cost to build them.
It's expensive. I want to. Let's be cost effective, guys.
I have a plan.
Spirit Airlines?
No. Okay. So you get a catapult, like a human catapult. You set it up at the border and you charge Americans. You can be reasonable, right? But you just charge them. You can press the button and deport someone. Just send them over the border.
Oh, fuck, kind of like going to space.
Yeah.
For Katy Perry.
Yeah.
God damn, I didn't even consider
so you
that.
said,
Yeah, what's the number?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
We should crowdsource it because how much would you pay for that?
That's what I'm saying.
I'd pay $1,000 for that.
Easily.
I probably would too, to be the one to push the button.
I'd go higher.
And
I'd go higher than $1,000.
I mean, so if it was a high-profile Mexican,
then you can scale up from there.
Then you could have an auction.
Oh, boy, dude. That would be fucking great. If you could pick one out.
Oh, yeah.
So then the money goes to, of course,
fund the whole thing.
Fund the whole thing.
I want that specific
To get them
Mexican
out.
the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Right? Maybe it's your mother-in-law. I don't know.
Or you let the people who, like, the crimes were committed against, and then they get to press the button where you're like, oh, yeah, you took over my apartment complex in Colorado. Boom!
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good idea?
God, that's a great idea.
I know.
Fuck.
I know.
The only issue is I worry that Americans would drive up the price. It's kind of like eBay, where it's like if there's not a buy it now option, God knows how high that would go on some of these fucks.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for the country.
It is. But I mean, then it's going to be a lot of rich people getting involved and, because they all want to kill too.
Let's
be honest.
Well, I mean, let them.
Yeah,
They shouldn't get deprived of that.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with the $5 million get into the country thing. It's like, cool. If you got $5 million
Right.
to get into the country, rad. Chances are you're not blowing shit up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a point to that. Do you got a top one you want out of here?
No, I just want all of them.
Okay, all of them?
Yeah.
But like, you don't have a fan fave right now where you're like, oh man, that guy.
No, they're all the same to me.
Okay.
I mean, they I said it, not you.
No, I'm just glad we're in a two-shot, so we have that. Yeah.
I agree.
The woman whose last name Gonzalez said that, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not Patterson.
American citizen, by the way, not birthright. So
No shit. So you can't be deported either. All right.
Well,
just
we'll
checking, dude. Because
We'll see.
You were high on my list.
It's not. That's
So to get Sarah out of here, I'd be like, well, maybe
Tactic-
I'll jack this up to 15K.
Technically, that's the case, but Abraham Lincoln deported a sitting U.S. congressman from Ohio to Canada
I like that too.
during the Civil War.
I like that too.
there was the one that was at the top of my list was that it was like a TikToker or whatever. She was morbidly obese, gigantic, bragging on TikTok.
What did you hate
remember
more
her.
about her, that she was here illegally or that she was fat?
Oh God, that's
hard to
tough.
say, right?
That is really hard to say. It
Pull
might
up-
be the fat.
Pull up her picture, Bob.
We posted that video.
Yes, we
Really
did.
fat.
Gary posted that video of me ranting about fat people on
It was
airplanes.
so good.
But here's the thing: there was 2 like butthurt comments, and then 5 or 6 different dudes said, "Hey, I actually got in shape because of you talking shit about fat people."
Yeah.
Yep.
So the ratio is way in our favor on that.
Damn.
I bet
bullied
the ones that were mad at you were fat.
I just told them to lose weight. Anybody that was mad, I don't care what they looked. I didn't even look
They
at their
were
photos. I just
definitely
like lose
fat.
weight.
They were definitely
Only
fat.
fats get mad at something like that.
Yeah.
Bob, you're too afraid to type in fat female immigrant arrested. Like, go ahead. That way I said it.
She was so.
That way I said it.
I mean, like.
Hey, by the way, the White House Twitter account actually put a picture of her
Yes.
on their feed,
It was
and I
so
lost
good.
my mind. It was great.
So good. Didn't
was
they do?
great.
And they did the what was the caricature that everyone was doing? And they did, like,
there's
the caricature.
endless memes, and
was so good.
There it is, right there. Look at that. That's the one they posted. God, that was my favorite, dude.
So good.
Because it also had like an Asian flair to it a little bit with the eyes and the eyebrows. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was really good.
Really,
she
really
was
good.
number 1 on my list, but they already took care of her.
The bidding war for her,
Oh.
shit.
Yeah. And you would need like a different system probably for her because she's so fat. Like, you might need a
Well,
different-
you make it for like 800 pounds, so you can launch multiple people.
Yeah, it's got to be like an
Okay.
elevator. Like, there's got to be a weight limit when you walk in an elevator.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
where you
right.
start
You
looking
just
at
need to
people
know
going,
what it
hey,
is.
did
Yeah.
you read the fucking sign? Did you read the sign? Because you and your fucking husband got to
kill
get
all
out
of
of here.
us.
Yes.
Stephen Mullins in the chat lost 120 pounds in the past year.
Wow.
Because of you?
Congrats.
I don't know if it's because of me, but
That's amazing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Probably.
Speaking of,
I'll
listen,
take credit.
I
That-
lost 100 pounds a long time ago.
You did?
Yep, it took me 2 years.
Did you ever find it?
Nope. I'm a former fatty. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, I'll show you the pictures.
What happened?
I just,
Couldn't stop eating?
I just was, I mean, you know,
What was your favorite?
everything fast food.
Yeah.
Whataburger.
Well, that's number 1. That's some Texas bullshit,
Yeah,
dude.
it's
I
garbage.
don't like Whataburger.
Really?
It is garbage. The best thing
Okay, now we're
there
fighting.
are the chicken strips with the gravy.
Oh God, that gravy's so good.
That's the only
what
thing
about
that's
Dairy
there.
Queen steak fingers with the gravy?
That's what I like about
so good.
Texas.
And I can't
Iowa
tell you the
company.
last time I ever ate that.
Dairy Queen still fucks, by the way. I took,
Really?
I took my kid. It was a soccer tournament up in Texas A&M, ironically.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, dude. I had to drive all the way up there. It was like 2 hours. And on the way home, he's like, Dad, I want Dairy Queen. I was like, all right, cool. It's a nice little treat, you know? Congratulations, the game's over. You had a good game. You have a nice little treat. You can get a Blizzard. And while I was in there, I was like, Daddy's a little hungry. And I remember those tacos. And I was like, man, they're so underrated. But the tacos at Dairy Queen still fuck. I just had them like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the tacos
My God, they're
at Jack in the Box are
Number one with the bull.
I don't know what they're made of or if it's cat meat or what.
Don't
I don't
care.
care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
They're like 99 cents a
Yep.
piece, and I'll eat 75 of those.
Oh, they're the best.
in a row.
God,
That's the only junk food that ever calls out to me, and I haven't had one in years since
I
we
haven't
were
either.
since we
I
were in
know.
LA the last time.
You and I are together.
in 2021, maybe I think.
We got off that flight. It was delayed,
Yeah.
and we went right to the closest place, and it was Jiznak and the Beezy, and we got those tacos 2 for 99 cents. And they've got an oddly weird taco sauce that's rad, where it's like, holy cow. And I mean, granted, you're shitting through a screen door the next day, but it's so worth it. It is so fucking worth it. And so are those tacos at Dairy Queen as well. Next up, ad-wise, we got ExpressVPN.com. We've had them for what, 8 years now? Going online without ExpressVPN is like having a passcode on your phone. Not like having one. You're just making it insanely easy for anyone who steals your phone to also steal your whole digital life. That's where ExpressVPN comes into play here. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, etc., your online data is not secure. Any hacker on the same network can gain access and steal your personal data, passwords, bank logins, credit card details, etc. Doesn't take much technical knowledge to hack someone, just some cheap hardware, and a 12-year-old could do it. Your data is valuable. Hackers can make up to $1,000 per person selling personal info on the dark web. ExpressVPN stops hackers from stealing your data by creating a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet. Also, by the way, let's say you live in the state of Texas, where we don't have pornography. You can't use Pornhub. You can with ExpressVPN. Sorry about it. Just go to expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros. You can watch porn all goddamn day long at work. I don't care what Wheelchair says. All right? He's imposing this bullshit on everybody else because his dick don't work, but ours does. Okay? To fight back against the tyranny of Texas, you can use expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros. And that way, when you're at work, a quick tug or whatever, it's there. All it does is kind of reroute you somewhere else other than Texas. You can also watch Netflix from all over the world because they're all different, by the way. My wife watches like Love Is Blind in like different countries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what we're doing here today. They get down though in those other countries.
Yeah. Speaking of that, that retard
Which
dating
one?
show
Oh yeah, Love on the Spectrum.
on the Spectrum.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you were what?
They have it on. They have it. I didn't know they had
That
tards like that in different
Yes.
countries like we do.
So if you wanted to watch Tards in Scotland, connect, because maybe
Yeah.
it's a nice
you-
nice flair.
Yeah, well, that's Irish, but can you imagine
Whatever, dude.
trying to listen to a Scottish
off the cuff.
person that's retarded speak? I mean, it's impossible.
Oh, it would be.
You wouldn't be
dude.
able to understand a goddamn word they say.
But I would love to hear him try to attempt to play the bagpipes. Be great, wouldn't it? That's great TV. Just right on the spectrum. It's just everywhere, all over the place.
Or an obstacle course.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one would be good. Boxing match. There's so many. Look, I could get locked into that forever. Case in point, ExpressVPN.com. You want to watch it? Great. You can watch retards all over the goddamn world. Finding love, Sarah. They're finding love in all the right places there because all these Netflix shows that we love and everything else, they're doing them in other countries. And now you got more content. Porn in Texas, whatever it is, secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros. That is EXPRESSVPN.com/Drinkin Bros to find out how you can get up to 4 extra months for free. expressvpn.com/Drinkin Bros. Protect your digital butthole. Next up, we got the.
Let's skip down to this Sonya, because she's got a heart out. So.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, let's skip
You
down
want to go to
this.
Sonia Mayor?
Yeah,
Sotomayor?
It doesn't matter.
I don't care. I don't care about her.
The only thing is that she won't shut the fuck up.
I know.
And neither will any of the other women on the Supreme Court, which is why women should not be on the Supreme Court.
That is, I agree.
Sarah, say it.
It's true. Okay. I agree.
So
I don't think women should be on the Supreme Court. I don't think a woman should ever be president. I just don't think that we're cut out for that.
Dan said in our lifetime there will never be a female president.
Never.
I hope not. Well, because I think most men
That's
think
what
it.
my wife says too, by the way.
Well, because I think most men think it and they're too scared to say it. And I think most women also believe it and are not too scared to say it. Because I'm like, I'm a woman. I know how we're like. I would never want a woman in charge of the whole country.
Could you imagine if Kamala actually got in?
Oh, my God. No. I mean, not just because she's retarded, but it's just the pettiness and you saw it several times come out in these interviews and stuff. It's inappropriate.
It would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
So Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts reined in Justice Sonia Sotamayor during an argument over birthright, citizenship, and nationwide court injunctions today. On Thursday, Sotomayor dominated questioning for several minutes on the outset of Thursday's argument after taking over for Justice Clarence Thomas. So, look, this is probably an easy one and a layup. I think we all knew she was going to come out and rage against this. But will he actually get it done?
I don't think it seems unlikely that the birthright citizenship is going to get overturned.
Why?
Because of the Constitution of the court. Like John Roberts is a liberal pretending to be conservative, and so is Amy Coney Barrett.
Okay.
Like neither one of them are strong conservative people. They suck. This, however, was interesting because this is less about the case and more about why women shouldn't be involved in any of this, to be honest, right? If you, Bob, click the last link, the SCOTUS blog link there.
Too emotional.
So put this up on screen and blow it up as big as you can. So this is the amount of words. This is from the 22 session, and it's worse now than it was then, way worse. I mean, like Ketanji Brown Jackson is way ahead of anybody else, but you can see this. The amount of words spoken by people during the session, those blue ones, those are women.
You don't say.
And two of them are the most, two of them are among the most junior on the court, right? So the guys that are most senior, which is to say Alito and Thomas Roberts.
Thomas is really short.
Yeah, Thomas has never been a talker, ever. Like, he's always been the least spoken on the court.
So the people that are new and female are talking more than anybody else, basically.
The only time I've heard Clarence Thomas talk was when he said, "Put your pubes on the Coke can." I want him glued to the Pepsi can, and that was it. That's pretty much it for him.
Yeah, so it's like John Roberts basically told her that her job is to listen and not speak. And I don't mean a woman's job, although that is accurate.
Yeah.
Right? But any male or female on the court, in the Supreme Court, if you have clarifying questions, then you ask them, obviously, but your job is not to debate the fucking witness.
Yeah.
You stupid bitch. Shut the fuck up, man.
With this, and getting rid of this birthright thing, are they essentially saying, hey, you can't come over here, have a quick child, and then boom, you're all citizens?
Yeah, I mean, here's what we found out that China's been doing lately. You want to hear this?
Oh,
That's super
dude.
dope.
I read that this morning. It's crazy.
So China will send somebody that's pregnant over here on a visa, right? Let them have their baby here. The baby gets American citizenship. Then they bring the mother and the baby back and raise the baby Chinese until it's an adult and then send it back over here to be a spy.
Yeah. Isn't that sweet? I mean, it's a great idea. That's very smart, though. You gotta commend them on that.
It is very
They're
smart.
playing the long game, aren't
Yes,
they?
they are.
God damn, that's great.
So,
You love it.
Sotomayor is trying to make the case about injunctions as well, these universal injunctions, and the law is pretty. She's saying that the court or that the Trump team is arguing against something that's established law. This is not true. The district courts do not have constitutional review authority of the executive branch. That does not exist. Doesn't. The Supreme Court does, right? But the district courts don't. They need a plaintiff with standing. Both of those things have to be done before they can even hear a case. But that's not what happened. Some random fucking group that doesn't necessarily represent, like a 501c3 that's funded by USAID, calls Boasberg and like, hey, we don't like this. We're filing an injunction. He's like, okay, well, Trump, you can't do this now. That's not how our legal system works. Not at all. That's why the Supreme Court turned down most of those cases. So I think birthright citizenship, I would be surprised if Trump wins on that. But the lower court injunctions, I think he does win because that's case law. I mean, that's pretty our constitutional law. It's a pretty settled thing.
So I get a prediction on this one. I wish we could bet on this on my bookie. I think I think they'll win, and I think this will be 5-4.
Maybe. I mean,
I do too.
I really do.
Birthright citizenship is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're like 2 illegal immigrants gonna have a kid here and the kid's a fucking citizen? Fuck off.
It's obviously a misinterpretation of what was written previously that applied to slavery and the children that slaves had, not someone who comes over here on like a visa and they create an entire industry of tourism based off of it. Any other country, it's like if a woman from the UK is in the air in international waters and has a baby, maybe they're in over America. It's not like it's an American citizen when she's here. No, of course not. When she's a British woman and she has a baby anywhere else, it's still a British citizen.
Yeah, we can't allow our closest near peer adversary on earth to beat us internally on a technicality. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is a technicality.
I think this will be 5-4. When is the ruling expected to be handed down?
Usually they start, for these cases in the spring, they start deciding in June and July.
Yeah,
They'll all
summer.
come out in June and July.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have this answer in June?
I bet I bet they'll hold it until one of the last ones.
Oh,
Remember,
easily.
they held like the most controversial ones until
abortion.
Remember
that one? They held it all the way to the summer, and then it got leaked.
All the way to the ninth month?
All the way to the very last possible day that they could drop a decision.
The bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they sure did.
I'm opening a chain of abortion clinics, and they're called the bottom of the ninth.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
And then you get to choose, your own bat. And that's how they get rid of the baby.
And it's like one of those old neon signs where it's like the infield and home plate lights up, and then first base, second base, third base, home plate, first base. It's like, come on in, and there's an umpire.
Sure,
you're out, and he's throwing a fucking baby.
It's just a fetus right out the window, and that's a nice thing to end on today because I want you to walk away with that image in your mind
Thank
here.
you.
But yeah, if mybookie.com is doing odds on this, give me Supremes 5-4 on this, and I think they end this thing.
Let's hope so, because that's a stupid thing. I mean, what the Supreme Court...
Democrats will fucking rage.
But all the Supreme Court has to do is clarify...
Yeah, I know.
The Supreme Court just has to clarify, which is, by the way, their job. It's not to make laws, it's to clarify the existing law. Hey, this was never intended to allow people to come here and dump a baby out.
Yep.
That's all they have to say. Like, no, that interpretation of it was stupid. We're not doing that anymore. That's all they have to do.
You can't come here and get preggers, and get rats. That's what I'd like one of them to say. If Justice Roberts said that in that exact voice... It'd be fucking awesome, dude.
If any of these guys just adopted like an affected deep Southern accent for the rest of their career and never mention it, that would be great.
The ruling of the court says it is a 5-4 that the Mexicans can't have the babies. That would be fucking rad, dude. And then I would sit there on the court steps and be, oh, justice, and he could scroll down the whole thing like an ancient scroll. God, that'd be fucking great. Give me trumpets and all that other shit, dude. Have your people out there, the legal ones, obviously, doing the hot dogs and the flautas and shit. Let's go, dude. Let's go. All right, now's the point of the show. We get to the Drinkin Bro of the week. Dan, is this the last day for the Bro Box on Drinkin Bros?
Yes.
It is. Okay. We allowed to say what it is? Okay. We'll tell you what it is today because we just got it. I just got mine in the mail, I guess. It's fucking rad, dude. It's the chair. It's a full goddamn Drinkin Bros fold-out chair for barbecues, all the sporting events, tailgates, all that other stuff. I don't know how that went into a box that was, what, $39.99? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he got a good deal. But they're nice.
Fuck. They're so
nice,
nice, dude. I had it at practice last night, and I was like, this fucking rocks.
Yeah, you want to definitely sign up for that Bro Box today. I think tomorrow's actually the last day, but I would sign up today because we have limited supplies.
Yes, and also it comes with 2 massive like drink holders in the armrest, which are plenty big enough for 2 hard AFs.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if you're out there in these streets, dude, with football ending in Texas, my kids playing in the playoffs on Friday night, Daddy loves it. I love it a lot. You know the parents booze at these things?
I believe it.
Yeah.
Then we've got some other shirts on here too. 3 new ones this week. If you guys want to participate, there we go.
What do we got there?
So the first one on the left is 1776% American.
That's great.
Because as Ron Swanson, otherwise known as me,
Sure.
because Nick Offerman's a fucking gaylord, says history began on July 4th, 1776. Everything before that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then in the middle is just a hammer and a sickle in a circle with a line through it because communism's gay.
Yeah. Unless, well.
No, it's gay.
Unless you're the Hakeem Jeffries thing.
That was gay.
We don't know that it was all gay.
Yeah, all
guys.
the fucking young male
Damn it.
Latinos, nothing gay about that. That he specifically requested that.
They're very good at service. Like maybe they were serving drinks. I don't know. Dan, I don't want to rule it out. I wasn't in the room. I need to see the footage.
Gay.
Okay?
They're gay.
Send me the footage.
And then
They were serving drinks or dick?
Yeah.
Both.
Probably poppers.
a
Amyl
good old-fashioned popper.
nitrate and fucking lube at that place. Yeah. And then the last one is Civis Americana Sum, which means I am an American citizen. And it's based on an old Roman statement that would basically convey it: if you touch me, the entire Roman government will come fucking kill your family.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. I think America should broadcast that to the world. If you look at America the wrong way, we'll kill you.
Yeah. Gare Bear, what are you doing back here?
He's getting that shotgun.
Oh, really? For the music video shoot? Yeah. For Riff Raff? Yeah. Is that real?
Yeah.
Did he ask for the fucking shotgun?
No, I.
Just in case? Yeah.
Did you?
No worries.
Are you taking hard AF?
Yeah. You just.
Can we get 2K?
Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes. Take fucking
one from
hard
the
AF
bottom,
for the video,
though.
dude. Is Riff Raff doing the show? That'd be rad.
I'm gonna ask him.
I'm not gonna ask him to rap, for Christ's sakes. I just want to hang, dude. It's been a while. Yeah. But take that, take the shotgun, and then 2 cases of hard AF seltzer. Booze and guns are fine, right?
It's fine.
Who cares?
It's fine. We're Americans. It's fine.
I love how we're live on air too, and we just gave away the fact that it's in the guitar case. God damn it, dude.
Well,
Whatever.
no, we've said that before. It's
Have
fine.
we?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God, dude. What's in the case? My guitar. It's not the guitar. It's not the fucking guitar. Usually, we'll bring some people up and listeners and all that other stuff. However, I'm not kidding. It's very rare we actually have somebody on fake news. Usually, it's just Dan and I. Forever. Since you are here, who would you like to give the Drinkin Bro of the week to? Who was someone who has inspired you or helps you become the person you are today? Last time, I think you gave it to Glenn Beck.
Oh.
Yeah. So who would you like to give it to this time?
Chad Prather.
Chad Prather?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I was just talking to him about you guys.
Really?
Yeah, I need to connect you guys back up.
For sure.
Yeah. Because every time I come here, I'm like, Chad, I need to connect you guys because you guys would vibe.
He was on the show a long time ago, wasn't
That's what
he,
he
Dan?
said.
Yeah,
thought.
when he was running for governor. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he said
he
I
was
think-
great.
I think-
22 maybe,
Yeah, he's
I don't
awesome.
remember.
We had a wild ass time on this show when he was
Yeah,
here. It was
yeah.
really fun.
He's like my best friend, mentor,
Yeah.
guide. Yeah. He's great.
He rocks, dude.
Yeah.
He hasn't been here in a while. Tell him to come back. He
I
had a
will.
fun time.
Yeah.
He was shocked, which is nuts for him. Even he was just like, yo, after the show ended, he was like, how the fuck do you guys get away with this on a daily basis? I was like, well, YouTube's not paying us.
You can
so-
only cancel somebody if they care.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I, like me caring about somebody else's opinion, that's not going to work
Not
for me.
gonna happen.
I don't have time
Yeah.
for that shit.
Yeah,
man.
me neither.
Yeah.
And we've got Patreon to pay for videos, so it's like, hey, dude,
Right.
I don't really give a fuck about this.
Right,
Sorry.
right.
So if we don't make money on YouTube, we don't. I don't really give a shit. But we appreciate you being here, and come back. We'll do an interview. I want to talk to you about your life.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've never sat down and rapped about your life. I didn't know you were over 100 pounds heavier than this.
Let's
right
talk about that.
Can you bring some photos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do a side by side?
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a side by side photo, but you can do whatever you want.
All right. Because there's my childhood photo back there if you want to see it. Against the wall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
skinny. Oh, skinny,
Well, look, we all had our tubby period.
skinny white guy.
7th and 8th grade was it for me. That was it for me. And yeah, dude. It wasn't great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of in that in-between stage, a little awkward. You say the worst shit to the Hooters waitress after the 8th grade dance, and you're just like, I can't believe that didn't work.
Your 8th grade dance was at Hooters?
No, but afterwards we went. We had,
Oh.
we had a cool dad who was just like, you know what, dude? You guys want to go to Hooters tonight? I'll take you guys. And it was like, oh yeah. Waitress comes over to the table and I say something horrific right
Like
off the
what?
bat. I don't remember.
Let's take a guess.
I gotta go, Dan.
Fuck up.
She's got to go. She's got to get out of here. But it was something of the nature of when she asked me what I wanted and I said her number and she said not a prayer. I went back into my shell and went back into my. I turtled up. I turtled up at that point. But I did shoot my shot. I went for the Lee Harvey Oswald on that one. Didn't pan out that night, but it did later. Okay. Appreciate you tuning in. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony Hollaway, Sarah Gonzalez. You gonna blast this fool or what, Holmes? I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin Bros Fake News. Buenos noches, everybody.